Locations for the consultation. Sports in overtime from Vegas. When people see what we're hair transplant, I want them to think,
wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
You're getting the lowdown on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post-workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Canadian born since 1999.
Your hockey helmet in the corner. 69 and then a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the ref.
That ain't hard, is it?
Score and win. During Edmonton's playoff run. 30 minutes.
What's that shit?
Part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. On Sports 1440.
Okay, turn to the corner.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, it's time. And another strange a strange bounce and a goal.
Well, it is game day. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Wherever you're at, we appreciate it very much. The Oilers, they need a win tonight against the Anaheim Ducks to continue their season. A loss, and they will go home. And then there'll be a lot of questions in the offseason. But today we'll focus on tonight's action for the Edmonton Oilers. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stay right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto Max, $55 million up for grabs. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, of course, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boosts. We're coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. Of course, place to watch the game tonight. 69-cent wings, $5.75 Molson products. You also have Sea Change Wolf is their feature beer if you like that. Oh, such a good beer. Big fan. Also, Taco Tuesdays. Ooh, excellent. So check it out. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. The Edmonton Oilers. No McDavid, no Dickinson. They're expected to play tonight. Obviously, anything can happen, but I would think that those two are going to be dressed tonight. Colton Dock, I spoke to him today. He missed last game with an illness. He's still fighting a little bit of a cold. You can tell he's stuffed up, but he is hopeful that he will be back in the lineup tonight. Said it was very difficult. He didn't even go to the rink. He was that sick, so he had to stay at the hotel and said not the place to watch the game. You feel very helpless sitting in your hotel room. So it's actually worse than being in the arena. At least you're in the rink. You feel like you're closer to the action. He said it was not fun whatsoever. Anaheim Ducks, no lineup changes, but a little I'm a little surprised, but Connor Ingram will be back in the pipes tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Chris Knobloch says, hey, down the stretch, he's been our starter, so that's what we're going to go with. Now, if Tristan Jarry wins game 4, are they doing that? I don't think Tristan Jarry was the reason they lost. Far from it. So the one area, and we had Kevin Woodley on yesterday, what's the one area that Jarry was much better at? Saves on screens. He stopped all of them. Whereas Ingram's allowed 4 goals in the series. So you know that Anaheim is going to look for long-distance shots with traffic in front. And that's where Ingram's going to have to be better. No question. He's going to have to be better in that regard tonight. Now, the Oilers as a group, according to Kasperi Kapanen, hey, we're not close to as good as we were down the stretch defensively. So they still feel they've got another rung or 2 on the ladder to play. Can't hold back for something now. They got to win, and they got to play better defensively. Thankfully, I think we're going to see some changes on the penalty kill. Ty Emberson, I talked about this yesterday on the show, Connor Halley. I said, man, I'd put Emberson, maybe even Wallman, but I definitely put Emberson on the penalty kill. And Chris Knobloch today, when I asked him about it, did confirm that Emberson was going to be on the penalty kill. I know that people, is that going to make a big difference? Well, he's good at it. He blocks shots. And the other thing is, this lowers some minutes of Evan Bouchard, so he can be, in theory, a little bit more rested 5-on-5. So it makes sense.
Well, you had to do something, right? Like, we can't just keep marching out the same old group of guys and hoping for changes and success. I mean, try something. We know Emberson, he can win battles in the corners. He's good defensively. I like that they're doing something here. And, that's a good point as well, Jason, that you lower the minutes, hopefully a little bit less fatigue for Bouchard. I think it's a good idea.
Yes. I think it's a must. Like, your season's on the line here, and your penalty kill's 50% in the series. Right? It's been horrific in the second period. They have scored 4 goals on 5 power play chances in the second period in the series. So now I know you could always say, hey, how to fix the penalty kill? Well, don't take as many penalties. And I'm sorry, I hate that answer, because that doesn't change your percentage. It just changes that, well, instead of taking 4, we might have 3. Okay, great. Well, if you're only killing off half them, you're still only killing off half them. So even if you only take 2, now you give up a power play goal. You can't go into a game virtually guaranteeing that you're down 1-0, because that's what it's been for the Edmonton Oilers. Every game, Ducks have scored a power play goal. Twice they've scored 2. So Edmonton's penalty kill needs to be better. Yes, you don't want to take needless penalties, but that's going to happen in the playoffs. Everybody does. It's not like the Oilers are the only team who's taken 4 penalties in a game. Far from it. So, yes, be more disciplined, but hey, how about be better on the penalty kill? I would say that the best way to fix your penalty kill is by being better on the penalty kill, because no one can just not take penalties. Doesn't happen. You can even defend very well sometimes. And guess what? You get a stick in the lane, guy steps on it, penalty. It's not even a bad penalty, but it's going to happen. Sometimes you got to take a penalty. Guys on a breakaway, trip him down. It's better. So we'll see how the Oilers come back tonight. Season's on the line. They have been very good in elimination games the last few seasons. 5-3. The 3 losses, of course, were Game 7 Florida, Game 5 and 6, Game 6 versus Florida. So 2 of those losses came against them. So they've been pretty good otherwise. So you don't have a problem with it. We'll see how they bounce back. And the lines, we don't know. Draisaitl line, they're not being separated. That we know 100% for certain. McDavid, when he plays, is he going to have Hyman? Is he going to have Nugent Hopkins? Is he going to have Rostovic? Is he going to have Savoy? It's been a different combination. Ultimately, I'm not sure it matters that much. I'm not going to get bent out of shape if it ends up being Savoy and Hyman, or if it ends up being Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, or if it ends up being Savoy and Rostovic. Who knows? It doesn't. They just got to play better. Right? The groups need to play better defensively. Scoring goals, it's not really a big problem, unless you feel that you have to outscore your problems. If that's the case, then yeah, line them up. It would be nice to get somebody else like Matt Savoy, Jack Rostovic, Trent Frederick could get a goal from one of those guys, would be an added bonus. The Draisaitl line has been the Oilers' best line. It's not even close so far in the playoffs. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today. Your head coach, you have last change. So how about use last change to your advantage? Just a thought, but I would consider maybe more tonight. Get the matchups that you're looking for certain. Coming up on the show today, hey, the Oilers, our first guest, gentleman, knows a thing or two about coming from behind in a 3-1 series deficit. Back in 1990, the Edmonton Oilers trailed 3-1. Remember Mark Lamb had an epic 1990 playoff run for the Oilers. He'll join us, talk coaching and just overall hockey with Mark. TR will be by. We got Dave McCarthy, Struddy, Speck, DVD, Cam Tate. Also, you know what, folks? You need a little humor, but Brad Williams will be joining us, comedian. He's in town coming up later on this week. The live on Short Street. That's a YouTube special of his, the Tall Tales tour, which is obviously somewhat facetious, Connor, because he's making all you guys at the station. You guys would love to have Brad around and make it look tall. Yeah. I mean, a notorious group of producers on this side of the board here, undoubtedly. But very funny guy. Now, the problem, Gregor, he is a Ducks fan, and he has been a Ducks fan for a while. So maybe there'll be some friendly barbs back and forth. He's also a Broncos fan. So in a different way, he and I might be rivals, but he's absolutely hilarious. Looking forward to get him on the show, hear his thoughts. And hey, maybe if I have the night free, go see him on Thursday. Yeah. We'll see. Well, hey, depends. If there's a game 6, will they be playing the game 6 in the side room, in the back room? Maybe. You might want to say, hey, I'll do my set during intermission. We'll see how that goes. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can always share your thoughts. Some other news, the CFL announces some changes starting next season. The season is going to begin earlier in May. The Grey Cup will be handed out on the 7th of November, and there's also going to be an extra week of playoffs. Sign me up for this. I know some people are like, oh my God, there's too many teams in. This isn't great. The regular season meaningless. Did you all say the same thing when, 16 out of 21 teams made the playoffs for a decade? Not really. So I never loved the fact that all you had to do was win one playoff game to get to the championship. I never loved it. So I like the fact that they have that game going on. So how it's going to work is first and second in the West play each other, first and second in the East play each other, and then the 5 to 8 seed, 5 versus 8, 6 versus 7, based on record, they will play each other in kind of a play-in round. Whoever wins, then they move to the semifinal. Whoever wins the 1-2 game, they get a bye during week 2 of the playoffs. Is it odd? Sure. But it gives you more playoff games, which is when more people get excited. Where do you come out, Cons?
Initially my first thought was I don't like having, all but one of the teams making the playoffs in the CFL. But, it takes a little bit away from it. But I think the storylines that it could potentially open up are pretty fun, right? Like you get a team that struggled but gets hot at the right time. I'm all for it. More football, more playoff action. I'm not going to turn my nose up to it. I do get the initial hesitancy, though, because it is like 8 teams, really? You just have to not be the worst team and you have a chance. But I think it opens up for some good storylines once you get into the postseason.
Now, the one thing that I haven't seen clarified, so number 1 and number 2 in the West, let's say number 1 wins in each side. Right now they get the bye. So the number 2 seed, whoever has the best record, do they automatically get the lowest of the remaining seeds? So it's not going to be East versus West automatically in the semifinal? Is that correct?
Getting the thumbs up from Deck.
Okay, good. So then think about it. We've talked about this for years. You felt like, the third team in the West is way better than some of the other teams, right? Because that's what could happen now is the third team in the West could end up playing the second seed team in the East. So you could have an all-West matchup. So you could have Grey Cup matchups we've never had before. I love it. I like it. I like more playoff games. I love the fact that a team has to win more than one game to get to the championship. I've never loved that, to be honest. So I like it. The season starts earlier in late May. People have talked about wanting this for a while. So Now you've got it. You wanted the Grey Cup earlier. Now you've got it. But the people that complain will still complain, right? Because people, and it's natural, they don't like change. And some people, guess what? Every change, they complain. I can give you the list of guys on social media. It's the same. They complain every time. And then after they see it for a while, oh, geez, I kind of like it now. Because they're chronic complainers. The glass is always half empty. They'll try to tell you, no, yeah, that's not, I'm a really good analyst and I need to give me a break. Like your shtick, if it's always negative, that's who you are. That's fine. But admit it. Don't pretend you're otherwise. It's always negative. Nothing wrong with changing things. You can always change back. Other leagues have changed playoff formats before. It's not the end of the world. It's got a little bit of a page system from curling where you got to play your way in, right? 1 versus 2. It's not that much different. So I don't have an issue with it at all. None whatsoever. So Gregor, why wouldn't they have just went no divisions 1, 8, 2, 7, 3 versus 6? Fair question, Jerry. I think they wanted to ensure that they still probably felt like the top teams, you know what, you can lose a game, have one bad week, and then still, recover. That's what I'm going to get. Because really, in NHL, that's how it is. Right? You can be the number 1 seed. You could lose 3 games and still get to the next round. So I'm guessing that's the reasoning a little bit. So now, would a number 8, hey, in football, anything can happen on any given day. So you never know. So, hey, guys, does this mean the Labor Day game will be later in the season? Yes. Spicy Scott, it will be. And because they're not going to change that. I shouldn't say that. They would be absolutely foolish to do it. So, yes, now you've got Labor Day games in Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, Toronto and Hamilton, Edmonton and Calgary later in the year that could have more implications on the seeding. So, I like it. I like it a lot. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, are the Oilers going to take McDavid off the penalty kill? He's not blocking shots and just out there for a shorthanded goal. Wow, the shorthanded goal was first of all, when you're out there for a shorthanded goal, my man, you realize you're talking about 2 different things. Okay. Yes, he was on the ice for a shorthanded goal, but that was against, not for. No, McDavid's out there because he's been one of their better penalty killers if you look at the numbers. Now, I know last game he was on for 1 goal against Granlund, but that's the first goal he's been on the entire series. And he's played the second most minutes of anyone. Like, I know people saw him out there and like, oh, my God, I can't believe he's on the penalty kill. I'm like, do you pay attention? He's been on the penalty kill for every game. Now, should he be out there? I don't know. He's obviously good enough to play. He played the second most minutes of any order forward. His minutes were down a little bit. I don't mind it. In an ideal world, would he be one of my top 4 penalty killers? No, not at all. I've got Savoy. You've got Dickinson. You've got Kapanen. You could play Nugent Hopkins. So I think you got 4 guys. If you want to not play McDavid there, if he gets in the last 20 seconds of a penalty kill, I don't have a problem with it. Now you got to win. I don't coach for tomorrow. I coach for tonight if I'm the coach. Because I know I've seen people, oh, you should rest McDavid, and then maybe they get to game 6. What? Who comes up with an idea like that? If McDavid's good enough to play, he's playing. Full stop, no questions asked. And even if he only plays 15 minutes, McDavid at 15 minutes is still a threat. More than other guys. That's just a fact. So the only way he's not playing tonight is because he physically cannot play. That's it. So he's good enough to go. I'm not resting him up. No, he's either in or he's simply not good enough to go. And I would guess he's going to play tonight. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk to a guy who knows what it feels like to be down 3-1. The Oilers have only ever come back twice in franchise history when trailing 3-1 in a series. They will look to do it again starting tonight. Now, the good news for Oilers fans, if you're looking for reasons to believe they can do it. They've done what they need to do, which is win 3 games in a row against the same opponent. 3 of their last 5 playoff series. They won 3 in a row against Florida. They won 4 in a row against LA. They won 4 in a row against Dallas. It can happen. Will it? I don't know. But we'll find out tonight. Get 1 win, and then you go to Anaheim, and then you got to get another win. And if they do that Saturday night in Edmonton, a game 7, sign me up. Now, speaking of the game tonight, you want to go? Some of you, you're feeling lucky, like, hey, you know what? I want to go. I'm going to play the odds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 entries. It's $100 an entry. You get in the draw, and they'll get a pair of tickets to the game for 100 bones, and you'll get $50 in Oiler bucks. So you can have a beverage or 2. Okay? So if you want in, just text in with your name, and we'll send you how to play. The first 10 people in, and then we'll do the draw. So text in 833-401-1440. It's a pair of lower bowl seats, great seats. Well, I know because they're mine. 833-401-1440. All the money's going to go to charity for Gregor Foundation. So 833-401-1440. If you want in, 100 bones, 1 out of 10 chance, and you get $50 in Oiler bucks at the game tonight. Take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6.
Bob Murdoch trying to downplay the pressure on his team coming into this game, saying his squad is still the underdog.
And John Buckler, the other side of the coin, is trying to
For Campbell Conference and the 4 Stanley Cup championships won by the Edmonton Oilers. For Campbell Conference.
Have 0%.
And the 4 Stanley Cup championships won by the Edmonton Oilers.
Their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you? Who, me? No way. I swear. Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvancelliot.com.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. They may be teeny tiny, but chinch bugs can completely devastate your lawn or garden. If you have yellowing grass that doesn't improve with watering, you may already have them. At Green Drop, we'll identify them, treat them, and help you recover from the damage before it's out of control. Stop chinch bugs cold with Green Drop Lawn Care, Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Find out more and get started at greendrop.com.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in the playoffs, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$225. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. $55 million up for grabs tonight in Lotto Max. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost. We got some a little Kapanen, Podkolzin, and Draisaitl. Is that line going to keep going? Well, if the Oilers are going to win, they probably need that line to keep rolling tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. If you missed it, Connor Ingram will be getting the start in goal tonight for the Oilers. As it's time to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of Silent Ice Center, minutes from South Edmonton. It's your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. And don't worry, you know what? If you got kids in sports tonight and they're down there, they got all the big screens for you to watch the game. So check it out. Summit Center in Silent Ice Center. And our next guest, of course, is a Stanley Cup winner, was an integral part of the Oilers' 1990 Stanley Cup championship ring. He's also was a longtime NHL assistant coach and has been a head coach in the Western Hockey League for the last, 15 seasons almost. 12 years, I guess, but 15 from the first year in 2010 until this past season in the dub, as Mark Lamb joins us once again. Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Well, Mark, the Oilers fans are looking for some reasons to believe, and down 3-1. It's never ideal, but you were obviously an integral part of that 1990 run to the Stanley Cup. You were down 3-1 to the Winnipeg Jets, and if memory serves correct, you're also down 3-1 in Game 5. Kind of take me through the mindset of a player when you're down 3-1. Like, do you truly block out that you're down 3-1 and just say, we just need to win tonight in Game 5? And how do you just kind of micro focus onto that? Or is that even realistic?
Well, yeah, I don't know if you can block it out, because reality really sets in and on where you're sitting. But opportunity is right there, like 3-1, and you have to break it down. Coaches, players, everyone does the same thing because it's so real that you have to break it down. You just got to win one game. You got to break down the shifts and just try to win that one game. And if you can win that one game, then you just keep moving on, keep doing the same thing, and hopefully win the series.
Now, at that time, Mark, you didn't have a boatload of playoff experience prior. You got a little bit, but not a lot. But you had a lot of guys around, Anderson, Messier, Curry, those guys who had a ton. Did you feel like did experience play a factor at all later in that series?
Well, experience did, but not so much for me, like you said. But I really, fed off, the body language of the other guys. They had been there, they had done it. At that point, I just wanted it so bad, and you could see the the professionalism and the leadership and all the rest of those guys, the guys that you're talking about, Messier and Anderson and McTavish. There was so many guys on that team that had Stanley Cups, and I just kind of followed, and I just wanted to be part of them.
Yeah, well, you and Curry and Tikkanen were a hell of a line that series. As a guy who, got thrust into a pretty big role that year, and then, you scored some key goals, and confidence for any player is vital at any time. But I would assume in the playoffs even more so. And, you're playing the same team. When you play the same team and you're producing, is it different than when you produce in a regular season? Because you're seeing different teams all the time. Like, there's just something more about confidence when you get it against one team in a series, and that maybe that carries longer for a player.
Yeah, I think it's different. I think playoffs is just so special. It's, it's where you want to be. It's whatever player, strives for to win in the playoffs and to be a good player in the playoffs. And, if you can be a good player in the playoffs, and I always thought that too, that if you could excel in the playoffs, it could lengthen out your career. And I think it did.
Yeah, well, hey, that it makes a lot of sense. So when you look at, kind of going back to that series, they were all close games, right? So, you were down 3-1, but did you feel like you were down 3-1? You know what I mean? As far as how the games were?
Well, no, because when you're really close, and that's another thing in playoffs. It's just every play matters so much, and but when you're down like that, it really doesn't. When you have that leadership around you, it really didn't feel like we were down, even though that you're down that much. But the leadership and the positive, talks that you have, even going back, I remember, Glenn Sather having his meetings and John Muckler having the meetings, and nobody ever thought that we were out of it. And that made me feel real good.
Yeah, I would think so. Kind of walk me back through the opportunity to play with Curry and Tikkanen and how that came about. Because I can't remember, did you play a ton with them in the regular season too?
Not a ton, but I went through stretches where I was, in and out of the lineup. And when I did play with them, we had success. And I kind of got, I played with different guys. I played wing. I played wherever. I just wanted to, try to make a name for myself. But when we did play together, we had success. And that was always, in the back of the coaches' minds, I guess. And I know that, Tikkanen and Curry, they really liked to play with me because we talked about it a lot. And I think they had a lot of influence on maybe with the coaching staff and the management in that decision.
Mark Lamb joined us. Now, Mark, obviously Jari Kurri was a great two-way player, highly offensive guy, but good two-way player. And Tikkanen was just, aggressive. The next year in 1991, scored that massive hat trick in Game 7 against them, and both of them had experience, but very different guys. Like, did you feed off of the Tikkanese and him kind of riling up the opposition? Did that play into your game?
Totally. Like it was. I tell you what, at that point, it was very, special for me playing with those guys, and we did have some chemistry, even though they played with some really good centermen before that. But Tick he was a special agitator with all kinds of talent. Also, like he could pass, he could shoot, he could play, power play, penalty kill, and Jari was just the calming, factor all the time. Like he didn't get too emotional about anything. And so it was our line, we could really communicate and talk. And whenever Tick got really emotional, they would start speaking Finnish. So I didn't understand anyway.
So Mark, I want to go back now. You had obviously, of course, played with Detroit in the playoffs in 87 and, then got into 6 games with the Oilers in 89, and you hadn't scored a goal yet. Your first ever playoff goal was, if I'm not mistaken, was the overtime winner in Game 2 against the Winnipeg Jets. Walk me through the goal and what you remember from that one.
Yeah, it was. I was playing left wing with Kelly Buckberger and Craig McTavish at the time. I wasn't playing with Tikkanen and Curry at that time. So I was taking lots of face-offs. I was pretty good at them. And Muckler, he told me to go out there and take the face-off and then change. And that's what I was going to do. And I won the face-off, and Tikkanen or Curry had it on the half wall, and I was just going to cut right through the middle. And if I didn't get the pass, I was just going to keep going right to the bench and change. And he put it on my tape, and I went in, and I kind of had a step on the D, and I went to my backhand, and I took a shot and scored. And I didn't really realize that. My son last week, he asked me if I remembered my first my first playoff goal, and I said, yeah, it was an overtime. So it was kind of cool, but that's how it happened. I was supposed to change.
Now, when your son asked you, but did you go find the video? Do you have a video of the goal? Did you show it to him?
No, he had seen it, and he thought it was pretty cool that it was that was my first goal. And I kind of forgot all about it too, that it was my first NHL playoff goal.
Yeah. So after that, is that what got you then? In Game 3, is that when you moved to play with Tikkanen and Curry?
No, I think I think when we got down, I think that happened, and then then we went into Winnipeg, and as the series got going a little bit, probably games 3 and 4, I think that's when the switch probably went full time.
So now, did John Muckler, because he told you, hey, just take the face off and then come off after you score the OT winner? Does he give you a kind of a joke like, yeah, you don't have to come off if you can score, or is it just okay? You know what, this guy's been through so many, he doesn't say much.
I don't know what happened after that. I think we were all just so happy, and we're in the dressing room. I can't remember if anything was said, but it was just awesome anyway.
And, it's funny, Mark, because, here you are, you'd been in pro hockey now for 5 years, and you finally score. And obviously, just being part of the team, you want to win. Everybody wants to win. But there's something unique about when somebody scores an overtime goal. And, at that point, you weren't necessarily looked upon as a big-time goal scorer. It became, a very important guy. But when those players, guys like that score, it's a different feeling in the room. Like, Messier and Curry and Anderson, people expect them to score. But when somebody else scores, those guys seem almost happier for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And it was such a family, the tradition that had been starting there and what they had built. And like I said, I just wanted to be and I was in the playoffs the year before. And, I got picked up by Edmonton because of the way that I had played against the Oilers the year before. And then, I was wondering when I got picked up by Edmonton, like, man, oh man, they're so stacked. Kind of going, what are they doing picking me up? I'll never play there.
Well, you were wrong because obviously you played there and you did lots. So obviously, I know you're a huge fan of the game. You watch this series between the Oilers and the Ducks, and it's been, it's been entertaining. There's been lots of offense. As a coach, now you put your coaching hat on. You look at the Oilers. And even their players talked about it. They need to find a way to be just more consistent defensively. Because there was a stat out there that the Anaheim Ducks, 9 goals in the series, and that's second most in the NHL playoffs, that they've scored very quickly after creating a takeaway/turnover. Edmonton's got to manage the puck better. As a coach, what messaging do you do to get your team just to remind them to manage the puck better?
Yeah, and they don't have a lot of time to practice right now and stuff. So there's a lot of video and stuff that they're doing, but managing the puck, it's pretty simple to say, but you just have to go out there and do it. And it's up to everybody and put a system in place, where you can, simplify it. And that first pass is so important. And then to play with the puck and not be so, stubborn on the blue lines and getting the puck in and out. And I know it sounds really simple, but it's very effective. And that's the way you need to play in playoffs. And your defensive game is mostly about having the puck. And that's what everyone talks about. And then they the penalties and the discipline is really, right at the forefront right now when they're having a hard time killing penalties. And that's defensive hockey also. So the discipline and managing the game, managing the puck is just so important.
Mark Lamb joins us. And Mark, it's funny. I always like to talk to players after you got into coaching. I don't know if that was something that you had thought about in your career or not when you were a player, but what got you the coaching bug?
You know what? I've always had it, and probably goes right back to junior in Medicine Hat. Coaching games in hockey schools and stuff. I always just really love that. At the end of the week when the players would have games at different age groups. I love coaching the games, and when you talk to people that have been friends of mine for years and stuff, I've always had that bug, and I always talked openly about it, and I still do. I love the game. I love to coach the game. I love watching the game, and it's nice being a fan of the Oilers now after played there and had, they're having so much success the last couple of years. So it's always been in my blood, and I don't know. I just always loved it.
And it is, you work. Eric Brewer, of course, is one of the governors of the team. You're the head coach and the GM in Prince George, and you guys had a great season. And I know it was obviously a disappointing end to how the season went. With all the changes, in NCAA and stuff, Mark, as a GM and a coach, you kind of work on the recruiting side and, of course, the coaching side. How much of do you think things are going to calm down, or we're going to still have another year or two of lots of movement, between players and WHL and NCAA?
I think there's still going to be lots of movement, but I think the understanding of how it all works, I think we're still in the midst of that. You see the portal and these guys moving around, but for the guys that we leave, it's just such a bigger group of guys that we can draw from now. Like our team, there's some teams that got hurt a lot worse than our team last year. We lost one guy, but we had gained 2 or 3 of probably players that weren't going to come to Prince George and play for us. They just had their path going the NCAA route. So, I think it kind of stabilizes, there a little bit, but it's still unforeseen stuff. We're still, going through these muddy waters and trying to figure out what we're doing. But I do know one thing, that every time you make a trade or bring somebody in, you can't predict that they're going to be here 3 years or 2 years or whatever. It's always, they're going to be here 1 year. That's how you got to think. And that's how I think.
Interesting. So does that's a change for sure. So you have to always be, I guess, looking for other players to bring in, because you don't know when guys are going to move.
That's right. And, and I'm just talking about the trade that I did make. I traded for a 19-year-old player that would have been back as a 20-year-old. So you know that you're going to have him for the next year, but that didn't happen. And he was committed to school for the next year too, but he just left early. And that happened a lot to a lot of teams.
Well, Mark, enjoy the games. You watch a lot of the when you watch, because you're currently coaching, do you watch as a fan, or are you always watching, kind of analyzing? Oh, geez, maybe I like that breakout. Oh, I like this. And you taking notes. How do you absorb the playoff hockey?
Yeah, I watch it a little bit different. I'm big on scoring chances. Especially on special teams, you can pick stuff up on special teams. And you know what? Other than that, it's just, you just turn into a fan, and the emotion, the ups and downs, the penalties and stuff like that. I find sometimes I got to relax. I find my palms starting to sweat when I'm really cheering and I really want something to happen. My wife thinks I'm crazy when I get like that.
Well, I've spoken like a true fan. People get fired up. Someone's got to leave the room. We had a group of friends watching the game in our neighborhood and the one wife, she goes, and the Oilers lost. She goes, this was actually way more enjoyable. My husband, maybe it's because there was a group, but he had to be really calm. Normally he's freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to chuckle because everyone fans take it a very different way.
Oh, man, it's so intense. Yeah, and it's so
And I'm sure as someone who won a cup with that organization, you obviously would love to see them win another one. So enjoy the games, Mark, and enjoy the offseason. It's always great talking hockey with you. Appreciate your time.
All right. Yeah, thanks a lot. Take care.
There you go. That's Mark Lamb, currently the head coach and GM of the Prince George Cougars. But, of course, Mark, how about that? Your first ever NHL goal was an overtime winner in your 19th NHL game. He had played 11 games with Detroit in 87. Then he got into 6 with the Oilers in 89, no goal. And then he played 11 games. Sorry, played 11. So then finally got into and scored in the second game that year in the playoffs. So pretty special. 11, 6, 2, 19 games. And went on to have a great run. Ended up being the Oilers' second line center that year. And you think about that play, right? He was played, win the face-off and then get off. Wins the face-off, they win it cleanly. The Oilers come out. Curry makes a pass right on the tape. Boom! I just watched the goal again. So. Awesome play, good memory, pretty much. Well, how you would remember every detail of your first ever overtime goal in the playoffs, no question. We'll come back. We'll get some stats of the day and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. The Wangster is managing tonight, so you're in for a fun time. Come in, get a good seat, and Taco Tuesday, lots of specials. Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup.
And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal. My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Wilhockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
What does deadline mean?
It means you have to do something before time runs out.
Oh, like buying your big brother's, big sister's dream home tickets?
Yes, exactly like that.
The Dream Home Lottery deadline is April 30th, just 2 days away. Your chance to win the grand prize, your choice, a dream home or $1 million and take home half the Win 50 jackpot is almost gone. Every ticket supports kids right here in our community. BigBrothersDreamHome.org. When you buy a ticket, you help a child.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Karius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
$2:48. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Halley, Declan Cougar running things at YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Be sure to give him a thumbs up. Say hello. Get in the chat over there. Always chatting about something. Lots of CFL news. We're probably going to have the commissioner on. Of course, CFL draft goes tonight. The Edmonton Elks with 4 of the first 21 picks. Interesting tweet from Farhan Lalji that he said, even if the Elks traded away all of their draft picks today, he feels they'd have the best Canadian depth in the league this year. They've really acquired Canadian talent the last few years. It's been a main focal point for Ed Hervey, because if you have roster flexibility, the more top quality starters you have, then you don't be like, oh, geez, we got to start this guy because of, no, you got enough guys that can start at any position. Now you don't even have to worry about roster flexibility, because you got so many that if one guy gets hurt, you just plug someone else in, and it really allows you to do more things and have different plays, different guys in the field at different times. So with that being said, I wonder, does Hervey take a swing at somebody maybe earlier than expected? We shall see. The draft gets going tonight at 5. Mac's going to be down there covering that for Sports 1440, which is awesome. And then, of course, you have the global draft tomorrow. CFL announcing that they've got a new playoff format, a new season start and end date starting next year in 2027. So they're making some changes, and I'm all for it. I don't have a problem with it. I know some people, there's more teams in the playoffs. You know what? Everybody says that until they get to the playoffs, and then the games are competitive and there's going to be doozies. You're like, I kind of like this. So I don't have much of an issue with it at all. You know what? I wonder, did the player, I know teams will never do it, but what if they would have said, hey, we'll go to back to 16 regular season games, but more playoff games? I get it, business wise, you're never going to do that, but would be interesting nonetheless. I know some MTR says, hey guys, more playoffs isn't always better. Look at the NBA. Fair point, but the difference is the more of the NBA games, a lot of them are amongst the bottom teams. Here is you have the number 1 and the number 2 seed playing an extra playoff game than they currently play. To me, that's better. That's quality football. There's more on the line. Like, hey, you want to win now. You get an extra bye week to get to the final. I like it. I like it a lot. And plus, I just like having to win more than one game to get to the championship game. That's just me. So I think it's a good thing. Now, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us. Let's get to some stats of the day brought to you by All Star Construction, underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, hydrovacing, directional drilling. That's what they specialize in. All Star Construction, and huge fans of the Oilers. They're saying go Oilers go tonight from All Star Construction. Some stats to look at. So the Edmonton Oilers have scored first in the series every game. They've only won one. In the regular season, the Edmonton Oilers won 75% of the games that they scored first in. That was the 6th best winning percentage. I'm not taking points because their points percentage was higher, because they went 30 wins, 5 losses, 5 overtime losses. So they won 30 of 40. They got points in 35 of 40. So, great. But I look at the orders, and you're scoring first this often, you should be winning more than 25% of the time. As mentioned, the rest of the league, 21-8. So score first again would be nice. Their problem is they've been scoring first, but look at this series. So in the series so far, we've played 4 games. They played 242 minutes and 29 seconds because there was only 229 of overtime. The games have been tied for 95 minutes, 94 minutes, 56 seconds. Anaheim has led for 76 minutes and 19 seconds. Edmonton has led for 71 minutes and 14 seconds. So for a team that scored first that often, they still haven't even led more than the Ducks. And keep in mind, the Oilers led, like they're leading for 71 minutes, but 48 minutes of that came in game 4. Because they got up 1-0, then they went up 2-0. And then finally Anaheim tied it late in the second period. And then Edmonton scored again early in the third and saw that lead evaporate. They never trailed in the game. So I think Edmonton says, guys, we liked a lot of our game last game, but when we get a lead, let's keep the lead. Right? The one thing that I don't feel has happened in the series yet is when the Ducks are chasing, they're pressing. It has, because, you look at the games 1, 2, and 3 when Edmonton scores first, they haven't been leading for very often. It's all Anaheim. Like when you only trail for 3 or 4 minutes, it doesn't feel that rad. If all of a sudden it's 2-0 and now it's 2-0 for the whole second period, and now you get to the third and you're like, oh my God, we've been trailing this entire game, it feels like, and it has been. Well, that's a much different state. Now all of a sudden, guys, like, God, we need to get a goal here. Oh, I got a pinch. Oh, I think we're gonna get it out. Now I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna take that one step to the left. I'm in the defensive zone, but suddenly puck stays in. All of a sudden, that creates more space for the Oilers. Boom, they can score. So I feel what Edmonton has not done yet in the series has made it uncomfortable for the Anaheim Ducks. And I give the Ducks credit. They have not they've given up goals early, but they bounce back. So if you're Edmonton, you got to find a way to stretch that out and get the Ducks uncomfortable. And most importantly, in the second period, kill a penalty. The Ducks are 80% on the power play in the second period. 4 or 5. 5-on-5 scoring in the second period, it's 4 apiece. But the penalty kill, they got murdered. So that's, to me, when I look at specific things, they got to improve. The other thing, I asked John Block about Ty Emberson being on the penalty kill, and yes, he's going to be on the penalty kill tonight. I know when Connor Murphy came in, I was like, oh, this is great. You can have Emberson and Murphy as your penalty killers on the right side. Rest Evan Bouchard, because Evan Bouchard's PK numbers were fine, but I rest him, right? Like Evan Bouchard's best asset is still providing offense. That's his best asset. Doesn't mean he can't be a good defender, but his best asset is providing offense. So I want him on the ice when there's way more chances to provide offense. 5-on-5, 4-on-4, and the power play. You know what? If obviously one of those right shot guys takes a penalty, well, then of course he's going to have to penalty kill. But I don't need Evan Bouchard penalty killing. I didn't agree when they brought in Murphy that they did it. I didn't like that decision. So I like the fact they're going back to Emberson tonight. Give guys more responsibilities. Honestly, Jake Wallman's playing great. Why the hell is he only playing 13, 14, 15 minutes in these games? Play more minutes. Like, I'm sorry. He's feeling it right now. He's looked very good. I don't care what happened in the regular season. The number one thing that you do as a coach is try to coach to that game. Not, well, I got to keep getting this guy because he was good for me a month ago. No. Right now, Jake Wallman, I feel, is feeling it. So get him a little bit more ice time. Now, today at the morning skate, the Oilers had Nurse with Bouchard, you had Emberson with Ekholm, and you had Wallman with Murphy. And people were like, oh, my God, why are they doing that? They're switching up. Well, Chris Knobloch basically said, hey, there's going to be some changes on the penalty kill. And so because there's changes on the penalty kill, so Nurse and Murphy are going to be their number one penalty kill unit unless one of them is in the box. That's a fact. They've been their best penalty kill unit. It makes sense. Now you're going to have Emberson, whether it's with Ekholm or Wallman, we'll see. Sounds maybe Ekholm, fine. So that means then when the penalty kill's over, you're probably going to play Wallman with Bouchard. Or depending on who was out the last shift, maybe it's going to be Nurse and Bouchard. So because you don't get much out of a morning skate, like honestly, if you watch the morning skate, it's really just go around. It's about 70%, 75%. Just feel the puck, some touches. You're going over mental reps. Okay, guys, this is how we break out, do touch pass, and they're out. That's what it is. Okay, it's not high intensity. It's not like, oh my God, you know what? They're going to get a lot out of it. So because Bouchard didn't play with Ekholm at the morning skate doesn't mean that they can't be effective tonight. They played all year together. One morning skate isn't going to change it. But I think as a coach, the other thing is I look at it as the mental side. So, everybody knows what's online tonight. It's a lot of stressful stuff. Hey, let's just switch it up a little bit. It's a morning skate. It's low intensity. We'll switch the D pairs around because guess what? Now that the penalty kill D pairs have switched and it's not the same as the regular 5-on-5, now some guys are going to have 1 or 2 shifts without their regular partner. So just have them feel better and away you go. So that's kind of how I see it. And some other stats for the Edmonton Oilers. If you are a believer, the Oilers 2-7 all time, coming back in a 3-1 series deficit. You win tonight though, and your odds jump up significantly to come from behind the series. Now, still not to 50% or anything like that, but jumps up about 20% when you look at the odds of the history of teams who trail 3-1 and then teams who trail 3-2 and their chances of coming back to win the series. So you can only win one game at a time. You can't win 3 in a row. So you have to look at it like that. And you win tonight and suddenly your odds are way better of winning the series. Again, doesn't mean you will, just put you closer. And the Oilers, like, I don't know, there's something about this team. Like, you look at losing on home ice when they had chances to lose on home ice. They haven't lost a series on home ice since 2022 against the Avs. And I can't see the Oilers going out at home. It could happen, of course. I'd be surprised if it happened in Game 5 tonight. So there you go. Some stats of the day brought to you by All Star Construction. Terry Ryan, Dave McCarthy coming up in hour number 2. Also, Jackson Lacombe will be on. We'll also hear from Chris Knobloch, as well as Kasperi Kapanen, Leon Draisaitl, and more. The other news, Connor Halley will update it. I have to say I'm surprised. The Ted Lindsay finalists were announced today. Connor Halley will give them to you. I'm a little surprised. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Yes, as Jason mentioned, the finalists for the Ted Lindsay Award announced earlier today. Matthew Celebrini, Nikita Kucherov, and Connor McDavid. The nominees, the award is presented annually for the most outstanding player in the NHL as voted by fellow members of the Players Association. On the ice tonight, of course, the Oilers looking to stay alive when they host the Ducks. Puck drop just after 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker just after 6. You also got Dallas in Minnesota. That series tied to 2 games apiece, while the Sabres can end their series against Boston, leading 3-1. In the association, a couple teams trying to wrap up their series. Also, Celtics up on the Sixers, 3-1. As are the Spurs or the Blazers. You've got the Knicks and the Hawks meeting at 6 o'clock. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball, Trey Savage will make his season debut for the Bluebirds when they take on the Red Sox. First pitch set for 5:07. We've also got the Tigers and the Braves, White Sox, Angels, Diamondbacks taking on the Brewers. Twins host the Mariners, Cubbies head to San Diego, and the Dodgers host the Marlins. CFL draft tonight. The action gets going at 5 o'clock. Elks currently selecting third and have 4 selections in the first 21 picks. You can follow our social media platforms as Mackenzie McFadden will be down at Commonwealth covering all the action. In the BCHL, Game 7, Brooks and Sherwood Park down in Brooks. That one gets going at 7. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host and former NHLer, Terry Ryan. We'll also look around the NHL with Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell. And we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me. GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or business online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. Hey, this is Todd James, honorary ride captain for the Edmonton Motorcycle Ride for Dad, raising funds and awareness in the battle against prostate cancer. Join us this Saturday for our 10th annual kickoff fundraiser at Blackjack's Roadhouse in Nisku with live music from Travolta's, playing the best 70s disco hits, silent and live auctions, 50-50 and more. All money raised goes to this June's ride in support of the Prostate Cancer Fight Foundation. That's this Saturday. Tickets just $35. Details on the Ride for Dad Edmonton Facebook page.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
What does deadline mean?
It means you have to do something before time runs out.
Oh, like buying your big brother's big sister's dream home tickets?
Yes, exactly like that.
The Dream Home Lottery deadline is April 30th, just 2 days away. Your chance to win the grand prize, your choice, a dream home or $1 million and take home half the Win 50 jackpot is almost gone. Every ticket supports kids right here in our community. BigBrothersDreamHome.org. When you buy a ticket, you help a child.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, she would.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through a lovely game day, Tuesday afternoon, live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street. Your place to watch the game tonight. Get in. You know what? They got a few tables left over. There's no bad seat in the house. So all I know is it'll be loud. They got all sorts of prizes going on during the game. So if the Oilers score, you win. Not only do they win, but you can win as well. Jasper Ave 118th Street. And speaking of winning, PlayAlberta.ca, our title sponsor for the 3 years here at Sports 1440. Happy they've been on board even longer than that. And just remind you that if you do gamble, use your GameSense, GameSenseAB.ca. The Edmonton Oilers' Connor Ingram is going to start in goal tonight. Dickinson and McDavid didn't take the morning skate. Neither did Troy Terry for Anaheim, but I expect all of those guys to be playing, I would think. Now, there's obviously a chance that Dickinson, who missed 2 of the first 4 games, could be out. Connor McDavid, I never got the sense at all that Connor McDavid wasn't going to play tonight. So I fully expect him to play. And I would think Dickinson, you don't need to take the morning skate at this juncture of the season. It's not going to change much, especially guys who got, ankle injuries or something. It makes more sense just to keep off of it. They'll be better sent doing treatment, massaging it, all the stuff they're doing to try to, strengthen it and give them the best chance for success. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Of course, Oiler game, not the only game in the NHL tonight. The Buffalo Sabres, with a 3-1 series lead, will try to eliminate Boston. That gets going at 5:30 our time. Then at 6 o'clock Edmonton time, Dallas hosting Minnesota. That series tied at 2. And then, of course, the late game. Puck drop closer to about 8:15, Oilers and the Quackers. Tonight, as we welcome to the show, Terry Ryan, our regular Tuesday and Thursday co-host. TR, how you doing, my man?
Oh, not bad. It's a nice spring day over here on the eastern side of Canada. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. You guys still got snow. Our snow just melted again, so hopefully it's the last time.
It's the same again. Yeah, I thought we were out of the woods a couple times, but it's back and forth. Today was a nice day. So as goes the spring, that's it. But mostly in Newfoundland, I look forward this time of year. Not so much for the warmth. The weather changed a bit, but this is when the icebergs come down and things really start moving. Everybody's outside. I guess not unlike anywhere in Canada. It's just different scenery.
Yeah. Edmonton Oilers are in a situation that I don't think a lot of people thought they'd be in this early in the series, down 3-1. They have scored first in every game. They've only won one of those games. Their penalty kill's brutal. Let's start there. They are going to make some changes on the PK. Ty Emberson is going to get on the penalty kill, and I like this decision a lot. I think he's more of a natural penalty killer. Plus, this is going to save a minute or 2 or 3 for Bouchard to be in a 5-on-5 or power play situation where, that's where his biggest forte, which is creating offense, can be used more than on the penalty kill.
Yeah, and there's not much, there's not a whole lot of time to work with here. So all of these smaller adjustments, I can totally see why. I wouldn't have thought Emberson would have been a bad fit there anyway. And I think, the regular season, you've kind of auditioned people in different roles, and now that's it, right? You got to slot people in, especially if McDavid's out. I don't think he is. I mean, you would probably have the word. I'm hearing, just reading what I'm reading on the internet and local news, local being 5,000 kilometers away from where you are. Is Connor going to play? What's the word?
Oh, yeah, he's just not taking the morning skate. Dickinson didn't take the morning skate. Troy Terry didn't take the morning skate for Anaheim. These are guys who are banged up, and you know how it is when you're banged up. Like, why do you have to take a needless, how morning skates are, TR? They're like, you just go around, skating. Like, why risk twisting an ankle when your ankle's a little bit sore? Why risk it? So I don't expect Connor McDavid to take a morning skate anytime soon. The Oilers could win Game 5, they win Game 6, whatever, they get to Game 7. I don't expect him on the ice in the morning skate.
No, okay. Well, if that's all it is, it's not even alarming. I mean, we all know he's hurt. It would take an awful lot. That's what I said. It was going to take an awful lot to keep him out of the lineup. And if it was that serious that he's going to be out of the lineup, then you're talking long-term for sure. It's just not a 2-day thing. That Connor McDavid's coming back, so that's good. It's one less thing to worry about. They got to bring it. Well, I mean, what have you noticed about for me? Anaheim, first of all, are playing way better than I thought they would. I don't see them as much as the Oilers. Is that a surprise? Is it the Oilers not penetrating the middle of the ice? Because they really look to be doing a great job defensively. The Anaheim almost, and I'm wondering. I'm saying, are the Oilers making it hard on them, or are they just doing this naturally? Because I don't think the underlying numbers in the regular season pointed at Anaheim being this defensive juggernaut. But they really do look like they're playing well that way. Now, maybe the Oilers aren't going to those hard areas. Doesn't seem like they're getting much traffic, but you had to get the puck there in the first time. Now it's the playoffs. You knew it was going to be a little bit harder, but, I mean, even trying to be objective about this, I didn't have Anaheim. I don't think most people did. And the Oilers have come back so many times, whether it's a bad start in the regular season or it's the playoffs and the absolute most important games of the year, which was the playoffs a couple of years ago, or in the finals. So this is far from over. And I think, I'm very, very confident the Oilers pull it off tonight because they're a great team when their backs are to the wall. And Anaheim, they just don't have as much experience. Sometimes that works for you, though, so who knows?
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? I don't know if Anaheim's been a defensive juggernaut. The Oilers scored 15 goals. Anaheim, I think, has played exactly to their strengths. High energy, high opportunity games. They create a lot. They give, and you know what? They've created more than Edmonton. And where they've beaten Edmonton is on special teams. 5-on-5, Edmonton's outscored them. It's on special teams where they've murdered them. The Oilers' penalty kill hasn't been good. Their second period play hasn't been good. And mainly it's the second period where they're 4 for 5 on the power play in the second period. 5-on-5 in the series, it's 4-4. But you throw in those 4 power play goals and plus a shorthanded one. The second period's been dreadful. I look at Edmonton and their inability to hold lead TR. Now the Ducks, they were the best team in the NHL coming from behind wins this year. And they've continued it with 3 out of 4. All 3 of theirs have been come from behind victories, including last game. They're trailed 2-0 and they trailed 3-2 and they still came back and won. So, Anaheim is kind of playing to their identity. And I guess we could argue in one way that Edmonton is too, because all season they were kind of inconsistent. This isn't new that the Oilers struggle defensively.
Yeah, it just seems to me, I don't know, that's surprising, but, facts are facts. It seems to me they're just not doing much in the middle of the ice, the Oilers. I can't figure out, is it because Anaheim's playing that well defensively, or are they not trying to go there as much? Does it go to systems? I don't know. Is it just harder playing the playoffs? And sometimes when you don't have much experience, it probably can work in your advantage because you feel like you have nothing to lose. And, I don't think when it comes to the penalty kill, I think some of this, nothing can be, miracles don't happen overnight, but I don't think they have to be. The Oilers, we've seen it. When you said inconsistent, it's not just wins and losses. It's been streakiness and penalty kill power play as well. So much so that at points they've had the best power play in history, and then it'll go dry for 15 in a row. So it's kind of the same thing with the penalty kill. I don't think it's anything to really worry about. When obviously it is when it's 3-1. Worry about, that's the wrong way to word it. But okay, it's nothing that can't be tweaked, and they can't come out of this, tonight killing off 4 or 5. It wouldn't surprise me at all, the way the Oilers are playing. And of course, it's going to even itself out. So, I mean, they really got to buckle up, but it's totally doable. And as far as getting chances, creating, I hate to keep saying it, just go to the net. It sounds so one-dimensional and silly and stupid. And, of course, any thug would say that. But it just seems to me that works. And it's playoffs. Just maybe be a less cheeky and just get it to the net. If you're going to at least have players standing there in front of the goalie, it just doesn't seem to be as hard as it should be for me. For some of large portions of the games.
Yeah, Terry Ryan joins us. we had Mark Lamb on the show, and he talked about, hey, he didn't have experience in playoffs, but the guys around him did, and he kind of fed off their calm demeanor, and maybe that will help. But like the Anaheim Ducks are young and youthful, and they're all excited, and everything's going their way, and they got a boatload of confidence. I'm sure Joe Quinn was like, just don't change anything. Keep doing exactly what we're doing. And he hasn't had a match lines, Terry. Everybody's playing against anyone, and for the most part, they're having success except the Draisaitl line. He's feasting on everybody. In Anaheim. We know that McDavid obviously is a little bit banged up right now. There's no question about that. So I look at other guys like Jack Roslovic, Matt Savoy, Trent Frederick specifically. Like those three guys got to get going here and chip in a little bit offensively, or in Frederick's case, emotionally and physically to get involved.
Yeah, and I think just the way Frederick's game is built, he probably has the best opportunity to pick the team up in multi-dimensional ways. As far as Roslovic, yeah, I expected to see a little bit more. I did. I thought that, he prided his game and has multiple times referred to wanting to go on a playoff run. And not necessarily I'm looking saying, who's that guy? He's not playing very well. But it just, there's no pop to it. And even though it's early in the playoffs overall, it could be lights out tonight. So I expect to see more. But they know that. And the way last game ended was very emotional. We know as we're sitting here, it easily could be 2-2. But they know what's on the line. They're professionals. If I'm a guy, let's just say you mentioned Frederick. If I'm Frederick and I know that I can go out and I can really make a difference physically. I know I can. I can't make myself score, but I know that. So the other two guys, but he really, as that time struggled, he had way less offensive production than everybody thought, signed that big contract. How do I get everybody behind me? How do I get my teams, my leaders, the organization, the fans? How do I get them in my corner? And it's easy. I can just go out there and I can go all out and I can be a real big time physical presence. And I can turn this around if we score some goals. And maybe even I'll get one of them. But I have a better chance to get it if I play with tenacity like I can. Now, he knows that, right? You know that. And you're getting paid a lot of money. And you don't want to you don't want to sit on that for the whole summer. You want to justify it. And you want to make people proud that they signed you. So starting there, I think he comes out and has a dynamic game one way or the other. And, the other people in other positions can fill in the blanks, go where you're needed, play your role, whatever it is. But, a guy like Frederick has a real potential to get everybody behind him and turn around his season in a few shifts,
Terry Ryan joins us here, Sports 1440. We'll take a quick break. Dave McCarthy's going to join us. We'll talk all things playoffs, of course. The Oilers are hosting the Ducks. We also have the Sabres and the Bruins going on tonight, as well as the big series. It's been very close. Well, I don't know. The Montreal-Tampa Bay series has been pretty damn competitive too. But that series, as well as the Dallas-Minnesota one tonight, those two have been fantastic. So we'll get to that and more when we return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Oodle Noodle origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle. You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need.
Mr. Dirk, family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
As we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening. Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Sound of your guitar coming from the mystic spot.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
326, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Terry Ryan, 2 Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. I want to get to this text. Hey, guys, I know TR makes a point of reading his DMs on social. How many mullet over messages has he been getting from Madeline Leduc? TR, how many? No.
I couldn't hear you. It just came in for me. I didn't hear your question.
We had Madeline Leduc is wondering, he knows you check your DMs on socials. How many mullet over messages have you been getting?
Oh, God. Yeah, a lot. Put it this way, guys. I get messaged. That's like a problem. I had to have someone kind of help me with it. I know it sounds crazy, but so hundreds a day right across the platforms, mostly Instagram. And like a lot will say, most will either say, mull it over or give your balls a tug or set the, which is funny because I never say give your balls a tug. I think people just either watch and assume we all say it, or just, it's to be associated with the show, or set the tone. So like when I go through my messages, I got to kind of get rid of those first. Not that I don't appreciate people watching, but I think they, because I'll never see those. It's just words that 1,000 people send in, but I don't know if they think they're being cheeky and, I'll get back to them. But so I got to go through those. And then like the 180th message might be an actual, like, hey, can you come here? We've got so-and-so set up or whatever, or your daughter has an opportunity to go to this soccer. So I go through, so they're filtered in with my real messages or unfiltered. So I got to go through them. But yeah, I bet you I get 300 a week that say mull it over. There's an answer.
Oh, okay. I like it. Perfect. Hey, let's go around the NHL now, brought to you by McDonald's. And guess what? The hype, it started in 2023. You got excited, then it went away. But now it's back. The chicken Big Mac, but only for a limited time at McDonald's. Stop in and get one today. Dave A. McCarthy joins us. Dave, how many of those mull it over messages have you sent to TR?
Well, I haven't sent any because I'm not a fanboy, though it is a good line. However, I will say I was watching the game with my parents last night, and your ad came on, Terry, and my mom was like, "Oh man, isn't that Terry Ryan who you go on with on Jason?" I'm like, "That's the guy," and so she was very impressed with the commercial, Terry.
Like I said, it's been so fortunate, and it's a small problem to have. It's just a lot of people see it, and I'll forever be associated with mull it over. But I mean, come on, there's worse phrases to be associated with, isn't there?
Oh, there is. I like the line at the end where the guy comes to the door and you're like, "Hey, party's in the back." That was good too.
Yeah, that was one of the crew came up with that on the spot. It was just, I kept answering the door. It was the only part of the whole thing that there was nothing written. And I kept answering the door and saying one thing or the other. And he was behind the door, with suggestions of sorts. And we went with that one.
It was good.
I like it. David, let's start Boston and Buffalo. The Sabres really dominated Game 4. Swayman gets the pull. Obviously, they're going to go back to him. He was pretty fired up in Game 4. Now it's elimination games. And we've seen the Penguins. So far, teams in this year's playoffs are 2-2 in elimination games. It's the Penguins with both wins. What are you expecting out of Boston tonight?
Well, I would expect a better effort. When you get to this point in a series, you tend to go one of two ways, especially when you're down 3-1. You either roll over and it's a quick series, or you take the message to heart and you find something. Now, it's not very typical to see a goaltender tune the fellas up on the bench as he gets the hook. Generally, that doesn't go well. We remember what Anthony Stolarz did in the media at the beginning of the year here for the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he basically called the team out, and it became a big thing. And then everybody kind of had to walk it back and all that. And at that time of the year, hard feelings can maybe develop. At this time of the year, I would hope that the Bruins hear that, because look, Swayman himself has to be better, but his message probably isn't wrong. Like, there's some guys that need to take their head out of their you-know-what and turn in an effort far better than we saw in Game 4. So he's probably not wrong. And maybe that's the kick in the pants that they need to realize that, yeah, he's right. This is not nearly good enough. And if we keep playing like this, it's going to be a short 5-game series. And we're kind of embarrassing ourselves. And for the amount of guys on that team with some degree of pride, having grown up in the Bruins way, guys like Charlie McAvoy, guys like David Pasternak, guys who understand what it means to be a Bruin, you hope they take that to heart and show something, because I do think they're better than what we saw in Game 4. The Sabres are a good team, but they shouldn't be out there steamrolling the Bruins as far as I'm concerned. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Bruins, and I would expect, for those reasons, a much better effort than we saw in Game 4. If we don't see it, quite honestly, I'll be quite surprised.
The Minnesota-Dallas series has been very close. The overtime games, back and forth. Dallas got some 5-on-5 scoring. Now it's a best of 3. Anything you've seen make you feel one of the teams has the advantage at all in the final three?
Yeah, honestly, no. I was thinking about this last night, and I still think this is as close to a pick'em as you can get at this point in a best of three. I think the way Dallas has played, there are elements of their game where they look like a team that is to be taken seriously, and the same thing goes for Minnesota. For Dallas, Jason Robertson's been outstanding. He scored in each game so far. He's really delivered offensively. They're missing Rupe Hintz. That is huge. But this is a game where you look at a guy like Jamie Benn. Can he chip in down the lineup, or can you get something from your fourth line? Can you get a depth game here? I think we're due for a depth game if you're the Dallas Stars. For Minnesota, they, to me, are a team that has really good balance, lines 1 through 4. You look at the fourth line right now, the Foligno brothers and Nico Sturm. That's a pretty solid fourth line that can do damage anytime they're on the ice. So I think I like Minnesota's balance. I don't even say their depth, their balance a little bit more than Dallas's right now. But in saying that, Dallas is a really good team as well. Jake Ottinger's played pretty good in this series. I think he's silenced some critics from years past. I think his goaltending has been fine. Jesper Wallstedt has been good. So I wish I could give you a more definitive answer, but I think if I did so, I would be being disingenuous, because I really do believe this is as close to a pick'em as you can get at this point. I don't have a feeling how this one's going to play out.
Yeah. Dave, Brady Tkachuk. So there's going to be a lot of decisions in the Ottawa Senators offseason from a lot of different people. Brady Tkachuk being one of them. His quote said, it was so close. It's hard when it's that close. It was 4-0. But the scores, I suppose, were close. You watched the whole series. Do you think there's truth to what he's saying? Was it that close? What do you think the Ottawa Senators need to do here in the offseason?
It felt close, and I'm not generally the biggest underlying numbers guy, but when they come from people whose voice I consider to be extremely credible, and in this case, Mike Kelly of Sportlogic, he put out numbers on the weekend that suggested when you look at inner slot shots, when you look at chances off the rush, those kind of deeper metrics, it wasn't nearly as close as it might have appeared on the scoreboard. Carolina really carried play, more so than the scoreboard reflected. And when you look at the series and say the Senators never led once in the series, it means they're chasing the game all series long. So yeah, it kind of felt close, but I don't think it really was as close as it looked. And I thought, honestly, Terry, the Senators, they got caught up, and I love tough hockey as much as the next guy, probably more so than the next guy. But I thought they got caught up in trying to play nothing but hit a guy and prove how tough we are. And they weren't making plays. Like, they weren't trying to play the game as well. They were trying to show how tough they were, where Carolina was playing their game. And also this year, unlike in past years, if the game got dragged into the alleys, well, you're not going to push us out of it. We're here for that fight. We'll answer that bell, and we'll push back. But we're still going to play our game. We're going to be our relentless forechecking selves. We're going to try to wear you down in the offensive zone, on the cycle. That type of stuff that is the way they need to play in order to have success. I didn't see enough of that from Ottawa. Trying to roll around in the offensive zone. It just seemed like they were running around trying to get licks on guys, and before you knew it, they were chasing the games and then the series, and then it was too late. And so I think if you're Steve Staios right now, fellas, you got to take a long, hard look at the group you've got now, which is to say, is it good enough to win in the playoffs? And I think the answer is no. 2 years in a row, they've squeaked in. They've got down 0-3. This year they got swept. Last year they got punted in 6 games by the Leafs. Prior to that, they haven't even made the playoffs. And these are not young guys anymore. Tkachuk, Batherson, Stützle, Grieg, Pinto. These guys are not 21. They're 25, 6, 7, 8 years old, having been in the league 5, 6, 7, 8 years. To run it back would be foolish. I don't think you can run it back and suggest that you are going to get a different result when you look at where the Canadians are going and the Sabres are going. Florida will return to competitiveness next year simply by doing nothing and getting healthy. I don't see it for Ottawa. So I think they got to look at this team and say, yeah, they're a good team. They're a good team, but the collection as it's constituted, I don't think is good enough to get them to where they want to go, which is, I think, to win a Stanley Cup, because I think we've seen enough of a sample size now to know that that's just not going to be the case.
Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM joined us. Dave, we moved to the Oilers and the Ducks, and they you look at Edmonton. I don't think a lot of people thought that they'd be facing elimination 5 games into the playoffs, but that's what the playoffs are great, because they can be unexpected. The Ducks full marks for how they played. You know what? They got young Jackson Leclone playing fantastic on the back end with 8 points. They're getting production from lots of different players. Offense isn't the Oilers' problem. It's more defending. Give me your thoughts on them going back to Ingram in goal, number one. And what do you think Edmonton can do to get back in the series?
Well, I don't really think it's a surprise that they went back to Connor Ingram. I get and I understand and I buy the logic that Chris Knobloch offered when he announced a decision and saying that he's been the guy that we've leaned on for the last, whatever it was, 4 or 5 weeks of the regular season. And so we're in this position. We're going to go with a guy that we used down the stretch and got us into the playoffs. Makes sense, but I still think it's a hope play at the end of the day. The point is, right now in Edmonton, they're not confident really with either goaltender. That's why they went away from Ingram in the first place. But beyond that, if you put 1993 Patrick Waugh in their net, is it going to make much of a difference? The answer is no, simply because they're not playing nearly good enough defensively. Jason, you and I talked about this on the brunch, and I completely agree with you that until they dial in defensively and get their own end under control, they don't have a chance. I mean, they might squeak out a game or two, you never know, push it to 7, who knows? But even if they push it to a 7th game and win, and they play, loose, and they outscore Anaheim just, in the game tonight, and they outscore their problems, and then they get a break in game 6, and then, the chips fall their way in game 7. That's still not a recipe for success going deep into the playoffs. They've got to get back to the team, as we have seen in the past, they can be. And for whatever reason, they're choosing not to do it right now, which is deeply, deeply concerning to me. These guys are experienced. They know what's on the line. These are not young, plucky, inexperienced, just happy to be their guys. They've been through the wars. They've been through the battles, and they're choosing not to do it. Why? You only get so many of these opportunities. Is the team as good as it was the past 2 years? No, I don't think it is. But when you look at the path forward that they have, which is to say, you get past the Ducks, like nice team, but young, inexperienced. No one's thinking the Ducks should be the favorite coming into the series. You got to beat the Ducks. If you can't beat the Ducks, you're not a cup contender. Let's be honest. But they got to look at it and say, we get past the Ducks, we get into the second round, where we'll face either the Mammoth or the Knights. Not exactly teams that I think blow anybody away. We got a chance to get to the 3rd round, and if that's the case, you get to the Final Four, you have a chance. You never know what happens in the other bracket. Somebody gets hurt, whatever it might be. You give yourselves a chance, and they have yet to in this series look like they understand that. And I don't understand why that is. I have no explanation for it. It's deeply puzzling. It's alarming. And to get back into the series, that's the answer. They've shown it in the past. They have to decide to do it. It's harder. It's not as fun, but holy cow, like that's what is required. They know it. It's time to see it. And I'm surprised we haven't yet.
Lastly, Nathan McKinnon was not a finalist for the Ted Lindsay as the most outstanding player. He's only the 6th player in NHL history to ever score 97 or more points, even strength, in the season. Now, Gretzky did it multiple times, but Lemieux, Curry, Yzerman, Mike Bossy each did it once. That's it. Like, he did something that outside of Gretzky, no one's ever done twice.
Yeah.
And only 5 other guys have done it once. And he doesn't get in the I'm stunned by this, to be honest, that he wasn't a finalist.
Yeah, I am too. I guess the question I would have to both of you guys is, if not for the 3 who were the finalists and to put McKinnon in, who are you taking out? Probably Celebrini, right? But see, like, here's where the argument comes down to. Celebrini had what, like 50 more points than the second place guy on his team. So you're talking about being valuable to a team.
No, but this isn't valuable. This is just most outstanding.
True, most outstanding. But what he did was incredible as a 19-year-old, right? Like, it was outstanding. It was valuable. It's whatever term you want to use. But if you take him off San Jose, where are they? Well, still where they are, not in the playoffs. And so I think Celebrini, what he did as a 19-year-old was outstanding. Is it more so than what we saw McKinnon do? The case you make, Jason, I'd argue probably not. That as good as Celebrini was, he'll have his time. And I don't think it was this year, given the case you made for Nathan McKinnon, which was extremely rarefied air. Now, the thing with McKinnon, I don't think he really cares too much about individual awards. I really don't. I think he is only interested in winning a Stanley Cup and nothing else. So I don't think he's going to be butthurt about it. I don't think he's going to use it as motivation. The Stanley Cup is his motivation, and it's always in front of him. It never goes away. And when he doesn't win it, he determines the last 8 to 9 to 10 months of his life, however long it's been between the start of the season when he gets eliminated, as a waste of his time. So that's his motivation. But I was surprised. I really thought it was McKinnon, it was Kucherov and McDavid as the top 3. If I was voting for the Lindsay and Macklin Celebrini would have been the 4th pick. And so I think that's how it's going to play out for the Hart. Again, if it doesn't, I'd be surprised. The interesting thing is that we had a really difficult decision this year. Now the players vote on this award, and so they had a really difficult decision because there were 4 really deserving candidates there. You could make a really good case for all 4. Somebody had to be left out. And so whoever it was, we were going to have this debate because you're leaving a guy out who is deserving. But in saying that, like I said, it would have been Celebrini. That would have been my 4th pick, and McKinnon would have been in there. And so I was a little surprised. But as I always say, who am I to argue with the players?
We'll see. Davey, have yourself a great day. We will chat with you next Tuesday, and we'll chat to you Sunday on the brunch.
See you, boys.
There you go. Dave A. McCarthy, a quick break. We'll get back 5 questions. It's the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave 118th, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Hold on to your hockey helmets, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 69-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadian and Coors Light for $5.75. Plus, OTR's TVs are so clear, you'll see the puck better than the rest. Score and win every game night during Edmonton's playoff run with specials starting 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocksyeg.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
This summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
It's playoff time on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. This is Andrew Walker. Join us for the Titan Supply pregame show before each Edmonton playoff game. Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EUL, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at EUL.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. EUL.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$3.49. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. We got our final payment, so everybody is in for the tickets for tonight's game. We got 10 peeps. You got a 1 in 10 chance to win, and you get a pair of tickets to the game. Pretty good deal for 100 bones, donation to charity, and $50 in order bucks. So first beverage too. Nice. So we do that for all the 10 of you. We'll do that draw coming up in the 4 o'clock hour right away. Now let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, who have been proudly serving Canada for over 50 years. Right now, you can save 60% off Canadian-made sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. That is The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, question number 1. Does the Oilers season end tonight, or will we see game 6? And throw in a bold prediction as well.
I think we're definitely going to see game 6. Yeah, I really do. The Oilers aren't going down this easy. They never have in this iteration of the team. And that's it when things need to happen. Bold prediction is that I'm going to go McDavid Hattie. That's it. It's not even too bold given he steps up, but that's it. Connor McDavid hat trick and 5 points. They win 5-1.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure how confident I am that the Oilers can win the series now, but I think they'd find a way to win that at home. They're not going to lose their final 2 home games of the season because, of course, they lost game 2. So I say Oilers win tonight, and it's another close game, 4-3. And I guess if I do a bold prediction, the Oilers score first and don't relinquish the lead.
I suppose that's bold.
Question number 2 for you guys. We saw some changes today. The skate on the back end, assuming no injuries or anything like that. What lineup changes would you guys make with the Oilers?
Well, I would put in Colton Dock. He was sick, so I'd put him in. And it's as far as like I said this yesterday. Ty Emerson's got me on the penalty kill, and I would argue I'd have Ty Emerson and Jake Wallman on the penalty kill, but I'd want Emerson, and I would actually increase Jake Wallman's minute. I think Jake Wallman's looked very good in the playoffs. He's only playing 50 minutes. You know, TRU played. You know what? Sometimes when you're feeling it as a player, he looks like he's feeling it. I would play him more. So those would be the 2 things I would do.
Oh yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, a lot of people talked about the goalie. I haven't really heard what you've had to say, but I mean, I don't know. I could make a case for either. I would think Ingram's in tonight, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Ingram is starting. And I'll admit I was a little surprised. I thought Jari played well last game, but
He did,
they're going to go to Ingram.
Next,
but, down the stretch, Ingram was. I really think you could make an argument for both. So we could sit here and talk about it for 3 hours and come up with the same conclusion. So I'm cool with it.
Next question for you guys. We know right now the Carolina Hurricanes, they've been off since Saturday, the Avalanche since Sunday. There's kind of that balance between rest and then maybe being off too long. Do you guys think there is a perfect amount of days to be off in between series?
Well, for me, I don't know, man. The NHL playoffs they're tough, man. Everybody's hurt. If it's me, and every player's different, right? People like different things. That's why, there's a general routine that players go through, especially on the road. You're all together. And everybody's different. People like different foods. They like different naps. They like different. Some people don't nap at all. The way they prepare for the game. So same sort of thing for me. I never had a problem with time off, unless you're talking. Unless in a rare occasion it might happen in the Memorial Cup. Say, not that I experienced it, but I think if you might be hosting the Mem Cup and you're out in the first round, or happens in senior hockey too. In the NHL, unless it's like Olympic break, maybe that. But for me, if you're in the playoffs and you happen to win in 4, then the more the merrier. The more days off, or without a game, I'd be completely fine with it. Other people, not so much, I guess.
I don't think there's. I'll say this: too much time off would have to be 2 weeks. I don't think a week off is bad at all. The guys get rest is such a big thing. You've just swept the team. You're in a great mood. You're feeling good. Get a little bit more time with your family. Relax. There's no stress. It's perfect. Like, so what? You know what? You're rusty for one game. Historically, it really hasn't hurt teams. So I would take the rest.
Question 4, CFL draft tonight, just over an hour away. Is there a name you think the Elks should be targeting, or just a player you're intrigued by here?
Well, to me, it's the O-line. I think they need an O-lineman, no question. I think Vaccaro's going number 1, so I will. I think they might go with Henning or Klein. Those are the 2 guys that intrigue me.
I'm not informed enough to answer that question. That's the honest truth. So next.
I'll slide in. I'll slide in and say Edmontonian Albert Reese just signed a contract with the Panthers. Big offensive lineman from Mississippi State. I'm intrigued to see where he ends up. Final question for you guys. National Superhero Day. In honor of that, give me your top 3 superheroes of all time.
So top 3 superheroes. I'm going to go 3 Batman, but again, it's probably Christopher Nolan Batman. And I think every Batman that comes after his that tends to be dark, he might have set the tone there, as we say. So if not for Christopher Nolan's Batman series, I don't know that he'd be in the top 3, but there you go. Number 2, I know it's obvious being saying Superman because he can do anything, but those movies growing up, I was born in 1977. And the first, even the 3rd and 4th, Richard Pryor, like a couple of them sucked, but still I loved seeing Superman. There was nothing as exhilarating as watching Superman take off. Around that time, like Jaws, Star Wars, those things were intriguing, and they certainly had a little bit of impact, but the emotional, inspirational pop when Superman would put on that suit and fly, I would consider second to none when it comes to that sort of thing. But number 1 would have to be Deadpool, given that he makes me laugh more than anybody else. And I suppose I really don't know the origins of Deadpool, but I didn't know who Deadpool was when I was 10 or 15 years old. But of all the movies, and I love them. I love superhero movies if it's good. If they're good, they're a great escape, awesome way to spend an afternoon. But of all of them, my favorites would be the Deadpool movies by far. So there you go. He would probably be number 1.
For me, hey, as a kid who didn't want to be Batman, sick. Spider-Man, just because that would be awesome. But number 1, I don't think it's close. It's Wolverine all day long. Indestructible. Adamantium fused to his basically to his bones. Love it. Love the claws. Love the sideburns. I want to be Wolverine. Sick hair too.
Comment?
Yeah, I mean, I actually had Wolverine at 3. Number 2 for me would be Iron Man. Heck of a run, cool lifestyle. And number 1 would be Batman for sure. Loved the Cape Crusader from a very young age. Didn't matter if it was the cartoon and the movies. Heck, I had a Chipmunks version of it where Alvin was Batman. Didn't matter for me. So Batman's number 1 for sure.
All right. Cons, we'll see. TR, have yourself a good day. We will chat with you on Thursday. We'll either be previewing Game 6 or it'll be an interesting off season for the Oilers. So should be fun on Thursday. Have a good one.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Edmonton. Go Oilers. See you soon.
There you go. That is Terry Ryan. Coming up in hour number 3, we're going to do the draw. Somebody is going to the game tonight. Also, you need some laughs. Who doesn't need a laugh? We'll hear from Brad Williams. Also, we got Spec coming up. We're going to hear from Jackson Lacombe, as well as Knobloch, Draisaitl, Kapanen. So busy next few hours here in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the Con Man now. And a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, they focus on your vehicle so you can focus on enjoying the drive worry-free. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers looking to stay alive as they host the Ducks, trailing 3-1 in their series. Puck drop just after 8. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson gets going at 6. They'll be joined by Landon Ferraro and former Oiler Tyson Barrie. Elsewhere, you got Sabres and Bruins at 5:30 with the Wild taking on the Stars just after 6. In the association, 3 games tonight. The Spurs trying to wrap up their series against the Blazers. Celtics trying to do the same against the Sixers. Hawks and Knicks kind of 2 apiece. They are going at 6 o'clock. In the majors, Jays in action, hosting the Red Sox just after 5. Trey Savage making his season debut. Got the CFL draft tonight, with it all getting going at 5. And in the BCHL, Game 7, Brooks taking on Sherwood Park down in Brooks. That one starting just after 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by comedian Brad Williams, also former NHLer Jason Strudwick, and we'll hear from members of the Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, noods. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, noods. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood.
Trouble low down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1, saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2, Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 Select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 Select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. For a limited time, get your favorite large specialty pizza from Papa John's for only $19.99. Use code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Just after 4 o'clock, welcome back. We are live at OTR, Jasper Ave, 118th Street, your place to watch the game tonight. Of course, as always, 69-cent wings. Nice. Also, it's a Taco Tuesday. You get $5.75 Molson's leading up to it. And also the Sea Change Wolf is the feature beer. So you want to get in, do it. OTR, Jasper Ave, 118th. Great place to watch the game. There's no bad seats in the house. Now, before we get to our next guest, we did the draw. Everybody, the 10 guys, and put their names in. So I've got the draw in here. Anybody watching online can see it. Draw the name. So first name out, you're going to win pair of seats to the game and $50 in order bucks to use on a beverage. And the winner is, who is that? Andrew. Andrew, congratulations. We'll get a hold of you, and you are going to the game tonight. Woo! Winner, winner, chicken dinner for Andrew. Nice. Thanks everybody for playing and helping out the Gregor Foundation. Now, let's go in the room. Brought to you by Action Electrical, where you can take action on your savings. You've been thinking about it. You've been on the fence. Should I? Shouldn't I? Well, you want solar for your home or your commercial building. ActionElectrical.net can walk you through the entire format, and you can get up to 30% savings tax-free from the government. So check it out, actionelectrical.net. And our next guest is an American stand-up comedian, also actor, who has appeared in numerous films and television shows, and he will be in Edmonton this Thursday for his comedy show. Brad Williams joins us. Brad, welcome to the show, my man. How you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Definitely happy to be here on such a historic day in Edmonton. And I'm hoping the series ends tonight because my show is on Thursday and at the River Creek Casino. So I want to make sure there are no distractions. No one's checking their phones during the show. Everyone's just out there having a laugh and having a good time.
For people who are listening and not watching, Brad's wearing like the duck bill mask. Obviously, you are from California. You're a Ducks fan. It's
yes,
been
sir.
A tough few years. So, but I know you're a Ducks fan because you wouldn't have just bought that just for the prop. Like, there's no chance. So,
no. I was at Game 1 this season where they handed out these masks. I was at Game 3. And that was a good time. I was not at the over the line game. I was not at that one. But I was at Game 3, and that was a good time. Let me tell you.
So now, Brad, before we get into your show, I want to get in a little bit to your history. Of course, now you have dwarfism, and you got your career started. Basically, I never know if these stories are true or not. So like that, is it true that you were at a comedy show and the comedian had made a few jokes about dwarves and people sitting around you were like, oh, geez, that's offside. And they didn't do anything. A, is it true? And then B, he called you up on stage, you cracked a few jokes, and then you kind of started into stand-up comedy. Is that right?
That is literally how it happened. I was called up on stage after the comedian started making some dwarf jokes. Half the audience is laughing. Half the audience is like, not laughing. I get up there. He asked me what I do for a living. And at the time, growing up in Orange County, California, I did what a lot of people in Orange County did as teenagers. I worked at Disneyland. As a dwarf on stage saying I work at Disneyland, that got some laughs from the audience. I turned to them and I said, shut up, I'm not one of the 7. That got another laugh, and then that felt pretty good. And a mere 22 years later, I become an overnight sensation, and now I'm playing the River Cree Casino right there in Edmonton.
So now, growing up with, I'm assuming you probably had to endure you probably had to get a thick skin. Fair to say, like there's a lot of insensitive idiots at times when you got dwarfism?
Sure. And I would say that I definitely developed a thick skin. So for all the Oiler fans that are going to be at the show on Thursday night at the River Cree Casino, if you heckle, whatever, that's fine. I've got a microphone. I will be louder. Now, don't get me wrong. I respect your team. Despite the fact that I'm wearing a duck mask on a Zoom on a live radio hit, I respect your team. I'm not like the Dan Lebitard show that calls McDavid Mick overrated. I am not that guy. Connor McDavid is one of the greatest NHL players of all time. It is clear when you watch him, and I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt watching the games. I don't know if it's the ankle injury that flared up early in the series. I don't know what it is. I hope he plays tonight. I know he's a game time decision, but as a fan of the Ducks, I do want to see the Ducks beat the Oilers, but at their highest level. I want all their best players out there. I want Draisaitl. I want McDavid. I want them playing great, and it's no fun if they're not.
Well, I'll say this, Brad. The odds of McDavid not playing are about the same as the odds of you not showing up on Thursday night. Okay, David is going to play tonight. Now, how effective is he? I have no idea. That remains to be seen. But at this stage here, Troy Terry didn't take the morning skate either. But no offense to Troy Terry, he's not the draw of Connor McDavid. People retweet 1,000 times if someone says McDavid didn't take the morning skate. Troy Terry didn't take the morning skate, and like one person retweets it. So it is.
And that retweeter was me. But trust me when I say Terry's been great for us. But this has been a fun series. This has been a good series. This series has taken years off my life, being that the Ducks have never scored first. I hope that switches tonight. But yeah, I enjoy watching this series because I enjoy watching Connor McDavid, and in terms of it is painfully obvious, whether it be McDavid on the Oilers or Leo Carlsson on the Ducks, where you see that the skill level is so much beyond a lot of the other players on the ice. Not saying Carlsson is McDavid. I'm not dumb enough to say that. McDavid is the best player on the ice. Let's be very clear.
Yeah. Yes. Now, getting back to the show on Thursday, you mentioned 22 years. You're grinding it out. Comedy is. You know what? There's a lot of time. Like, you look at NHL players, and there's a few guys who spend 6-7 years in the minors, but most of them might only have to grind it out for 2 or 3. You're on the trail, you're grinding it out. How do you get better as a comedian? Like, is it just trial and error? What else is it that allows you to get better and then become more popular, do you find?
It is trial and error, but it's also living a life. For me, I talk about personal stories on the stage. I talk about my life. I talk about my wife. I talk about my kid. The eyes on this mask are a little weird, so I'm actually going to take it off now. But yeah, that's how you become a better player on the ice. That's how you become a better comedian. Is just through practice. And hopefully and thankfully, we live in a time of social media where now clips can go viral. So during the pandemic, when much of everyone was staying home, that's when they started passing my clips around from my comedy specials, and that's how I got a little more popular and started selling out large venues like the River Cree Casino. And yeah, the cool part about being a comedian as well as being a professional NHL player is there are no shortcuts. You can't just show up and because daddy was a player, you're going to make the team. You can't just go on stage and get laughs because you're wealthy or your dad was a comedian or your dad owns the club or whatever. That's not going to happen. You have to actually do the work. You have to put your time in, and there are no shortcuts to being a better comedian, the same way there are no shortcuts to being a better hockey player.
Now, when you look at because you talk about personal stories for sure, and hey, you obviously have a unique story, having you have dwarfism, so that's something that stands out, that's a little bit different. But the quick wit, like, who are comedy people that you can't steal from anybody? I understand that. Well, I guess you could, and people get caught at it.
Yeah, exactly. It's been done. Doesn't go well.
do you take things like from like I watch like Jerry Seinfeld was like my favorite comedian growing up. Like I thought he was so funny. I always appreciate. I went and saw him live many times, and then there's obviously like Dave Chappelle. We go through the list of great comedians of their time. Were there ones that you looked at and you try, hey, I like that. I'm going to turn it into my own spin, but there's always kind of influences. Like, who are your influences?
Sure. I would say I'm currently staring at a giant poster of Robin Williams in my office. He was a guy that, not related to me, by the way, despite the same last name, and but just his improvisational skill, his energy on stage. Now, later as an adult, I found out the energy may have been helped with certain white substances, but which I am not partaking in because my heart is very tiny. But his energy, his improv, and then there's a comedian named Christopher Titus who really taught me and influenced me to tell long form stories, how you can get a little bit dark on stage as long as you have a joke in the end to bring the audience back. So when you see me on stage Thursday, there might be 45 seconds to a minute where you don't laugh, but it's only because I know that there's a good joke coming. I tell jokes for people like me that have ADD. So if you don't like a joke, wait 15, 30 seconds. There will be another one coming.
So there's a lot of rapid fire jokes is what you're saying. Now,
1,000%.
I'm sure you've probably heard a lot of chirps, of course. Which is your favorite joke about being a short person that actually you were like, okay, you know what? Because most comedians have a really good sense of humor. They love people, but if you get them, they're like, God, that was pretty good. What's your favorite?
You know what? Here's a story. First of all, if you think you're gonna chirp me during the show, come up with something better than, hey, you're a leprechaun, or you're an elf, or where's Peter Dinklage, or I always pay my debts. I've heard those. All right. I've heard those. I have comebacks ready. There was one time I did a show with the late, great comedian Ralphie May, and I went on stage before him. I made a joke about how I hope the stage is reinforced because Ralphie May was a larger guy, and I thought he might fall through the stage. And Ralphie May proceeded to go on stage and do 20 minutes all about little people and just crushing me. And I talked to him after. I said, "Did you have that ready?" He go and like, "Were you gonna do that?" And he goes, "No. Once you made the jokes about me, I did the 20 minutes on you." And I'm like, "How do you have 20 minutes on me?" And he goes, "Well, I've been doing this long enough. You have 20 minutes on everything." And so yeah, Ralphie May was the absolute best at that. He would get me the best. And trust me when I say, I love a good short joke. I totally appreciate it. So if you're yelling something out, just don't yell out "Wee Man" from Jackass. Like that's basic. That's basic.
Yeah.
So
now, is there anything that that you have yet to accomplish in your career that you would like to, whether it's starring in a certain show, obviously maybe being on tour with someone, everybody wants to be in the biggest venue. I get that. But is there something in your career that's your kind of carrot that you're chasing?
man, as long as I just keep getting to do this, like I know it's not exactly the answer you wanted to hear. You want to hear be movies and be TV shows and be on SNL and all that or whatever. Honestly, this is great to venues and to be able to do this at the level that I'm doing it. It doesn't get any better than this, man. So if I can just continue to do this for a longer period of time, maybe ride the Zamboni at a Duck game.
No,
that's
you want to go to
what I would
Utah,
like to do.
right? The Mammoth Boney. That would be not bad. Now,
the Utah one is awesome. I think all teams could really learn something from the Mammoth and dress up their Zambonis. That thing is great.
It is a fantastic. Now, a lot of people are wondering, are you going to wear a Ducks jersey on stage on Thursday?
I will leave that to the people that buy a ticket and who are in the room. It depends on how the series certainly goes tonight, but I will leave that to the people that buy a ticket and will be there. I've never dug myself out of a hole that big before, but you never know. I may do it, but you guys are in the stereotypes about Canadians are true. You guys are very nice. You guys are very kind. But I have a feeling that if I wore a Ducks jersey on stage in Edmonton on Thursday, that might put that to the limit.
Yes. Canadians have a reputation, most, not all, of being polite, but everybody has a breaking point, and their local sports team is usually that one. You know what? They can obviously laugh about it a little bit because usually if it's most of the best jokes are the true ones. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, those are the ones that, it kind of stings, but you're like, oh God, that's true. So I can't really criticize it very much. Now, lastly, before I let you go, Brad, you mentioned how you know what, you've been doing this a long time. You probably have a lot of topics. If someone chirps you on stage, you go a different direction, and that's great. Sure. When you kind of outline your set, do you have a timeline to say, okay, I want 5 minutes on rapid fire jokes, and then I got 10 minutes on long stories? Like, how does it play out? Like, is there a blueprint for a show for a comedian?
For me, I've got my set where I go, these are my signposts that I'm going to hit. But if something happens during the show and I go off the rails, I don't immediately have to run right back to the set. We can have some fun. We can talk. If someone yells something out and we got to go a different direction, okay, we will go that direction. But my whole point, despite whatever our sports allegiances are, I always want people to have fun. When people come to my show, they're going to have a good time, no matter who you voted for, no matter what race you are, who you pray to. You're gonna have a good time. That is always my goal. That is what I intend to do.
Is there anything that you stay away from as a comedian?
I don't talk politics. I'm not smart enough to do it. So I'm not going to go up there and say things that are incendiary regarding my country and regarding our country's relations. I'm not smart enough to do that. Now, some would argue I'm not even smart enough to talk hockey, but there may be some lines that are crossed. I don't mean to trigger the Edmonton fans by saying crossing lines after the last game, because we all know the puck did cross the line, but I will go right up to that edge.
Yeah, well, that's fair. So now, what time are you planning on being on stage Thursday night?
Now the show starts at 7. I believe I'll get on there about 7:20, 7:30 because I have an amazing opening act. So I don't know if there's a game 6 and you guys want to have the phones out and kind of watch both at the same time. I don't blame you. It's a great time. It's a great season. Hockey playoffs are by far the best playoffs. I feel like this year, certainly in the United States, they're getting higher ratings this year and a little more love than past years. And I feel like the NBA is on kind of a downturn because of the load management, because of everyone taking 3-pointers. People like to see tough guys, and tough guys play hockey. So I am really enjoying these hockey playoffs, no matter how this particular series goes.
Can you skate, Brad?
I can. I played hockey for 6 years. I was a defenseman, wore number 33. No one hit me because they thought if they hit me, they'd get charged with a hate crime. So yes, I can skate. I can stick handle. I can do the pass where you flip the puck up and it always lands flat. I still know how to do that. And so that's why I love the sport so much. It's because it's one of the only sports that I was able to play. As a youth, I tried playing basketball, but that didn't go well.
No, you weren't the Muggsy Bogues, is what you're telling us, eh?
No, and the college football coach Mike Leach was not around. I don't know if you know this story. Mike Leach, the RIP Mike Leach,
yes,
famous coach. He once proposed that in college football, every team have a dwarf on their team, and this is his words, not mine.
Yes,
for short yardage running situations where they would run at the line and then a lineman would just toss the dwarf over the line.
Yes.
That was something he proposed, and that was something I'm glad I was not in high school when he did, because I have a feeling that my high school coach would have been like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Why not? Eh? Get over the line. No problem. No push. No, it would be the dwarf toss well in advance.
Exactly.
Now, Brad, serious question. Have you ever wore lifts?
Oh, I am not lifting. See, you mentioned you were a Seinfeld fan earlier, so I know that's a reference to that. I am not lifting. Hell, if I lift, then it doesn't look like I have dwarfism at all, and then there goes my gig. There goes the jokes. They won't make sense. So no, I'm a proud 4'4". I don't know what that is in the metric system, but it's very small.
It's 15. Like I watched that episode, and the characters played it great. Is lifting that serious of like faux pas in the dwarf community?
I wouldn't say it's a huge thing, but it's that. But I mean, even no pun intended. I just realized what I said. But it is something where if we know that someone's doing it, we kind of look down upon it. But we all understand if you're doing it when you're going to an amusement park because you want to ride the roller coasters. That's when we understand it. Because heck, I'm a 42-year-old man. I shouldn't have to sit on the sideline while some big old 7-year-old gets to ride the coaster. I want to ride the coaster, darn it.
Dude, that makes sense, man. I could see that one for sure. Well, Brad, we'll see you in town on Thursday, man. Enjoy the series.
Hey, I will enjoy the game tonight. One more item. I do have a brand new special that's on my YouTube channel. It's called Live on Short Street. So if you can't make it to the game or if you want to stay home and watch the hockey playoffs, totally understand. But please watch my special. It's called Live on Short Street on my YouTube channel, Brad Williams Comedy. Really appreciate you guys having me on. Love the friendly rivalry. Really looking forward to a good game tonight. And just as long as people are playing their hearts out and not getting hurt, I'm a big fan.
Well, if they get to Game 7, you should stay in Edmonton just for Game 7 on Saturday.
Man, I would like to. I would like to. I'm gonna go to Calgary the very next night, which I know is a very sensitive subject. No playoffs there. They're not doing anything. So I might have to come back.
You should, buddy. That'd be worth it.
Let's go.
Game 7. Trust me, you would enjoy it. Thanks, Brad. Appreciate your time.
Let's go.
Look at that duck mask. That was a classic. Brad Will. I can't believe they handed those out. That's actually a really good promotion to hand out. Anybody who's watching on YouTube, Con, you see the duck mask? Like, that's fantastic. I didn't know they handed those out the first game of the season. That's a classic. It's a classic, smart promotion. Now your fans are wearing them all over. It's excellent.
Yeah, it was really funny when he popped up on camera. We just saw the mask. And like for those who didn't see, it's the Wild Wing mask, right? That their mascot wears. And start of the year. I think the eyes lit up and everything like that. Yeah, it's a really cool giveaway. And it was funny to see him pop up with that on.
Yeah, it was great. Quick break. We will return. We'll get back. We're going to talk. We're going to hear from some orders, some Ducks, back and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca live at OTR Jasper Ave on 118th Street.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People are going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
We got our final
double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made in Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Hi, it's Jason McCoy. You know, music's given me a lot of great moments, but nothing means more than time with my dad. When he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, a simple PSA blood test was key in detecting it early, and we got more years, more laughs, and more memories. Guys, it's a quick test that just might end up saving your life.
Join the Princess Auto Motorcycle Ride for Dad in Edmonton, Saturday, June 13th. Register or donate at ridefordad.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Rent it, run it, get it serviced. Japa Equipment Rentals have you covered from their shop to the job site. Alberta's construction pros have counted on Japa for end rentals and service since 1972. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$4.29. Oh, Oilers could use it, Fernando, tonight. Maybe Kapanen, guys on fire, 4 goals in 4 playoff games for the Edmonton Oilers. He's going to need another big night, especially with Connor McDavid ailing a little bit. That line, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Kapanen, they kind of got to carry the Oilers. And they're capable of doing it, and you hope it continues. Welcome back. We are live at the On the Rocks, Jasper Ave 118th. It's the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca, $55 million up for grabs in Lotto Max, so you can get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. And also check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials. Tonight we got some Oilers mixed in with a little Podkolzin and Kapanen, Draisaitl parlay action, and more. So check it out. It's time now as we get to the Struds On, brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, vans, trucks, SUVs, you name it. They got it all. Over 15,000 vehicles to choose from at goauto.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea. It is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you had me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, how you doing?
Great. How are you guys?
Well, we're good. Before we get to the game, I want to ask what has it been a while since somebody got you mentally off your game? Brownie told me he was looking to mix it up, and you just kind of got your rattle in the past weekend. What happened?
Buddy, I was taking advantage of him being on the ice so much, I couldn't fight him to get him off the ice. I think I was +3 and 2 assists when he was on the ice. Like, why would I want that guy off the ice? He just wrote my contract for next year's tournament.
Now you changed. You'd been a floater for the last few years, but now you got back in the draft as a one. You just wanted to be part of a team again. Is that why?
No, you know what? It was a misunderstanding. So I have been a floater, and then I was supposed to be a draft, and then just before the draft, they turned me back to a floater. I mean, it's too much power for one team to have. You know, it's what's that? The mid of power on what is that show? The He-Man or whatever that show is, where everyone, the guy, the ring is the ring of power, or the mid of power. I don't know. Connor's probably pulling his hair out knowing I've got this pretty messed up. But anyways, either way, it's too much power for one team. So they spread me around. And I mean, I don't know. Is 13 points in 5 games pretty good? I'm not sure if that really counts as great. It's right up there.
It's the ring of power. Isn't that the serpent's ring? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, the one where the big guy, Thanos, has that huge mitt.
Oh, I was
all those
He-Man.
diamonds in it.
Okay.
Oh, He-Man's pretty good. Yeah, he's
well,
pretty
that's
good
what you
too.
did say, He-Man. So
Either
that's
way.
why I was thinking.
Well, either way.
So you
Two
just
big
got
guys.
it's right. It wouldn't be like you to mix up things before. So
Doesn't matter. You guys know what I'm talking. Everyone's listening. They know what I'm talking about. Thanos, the big guy, snapped his finger. Half the world dies.
Yeah.
And then I think,
Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
yeah.
So I was close. I was
You're
right.
very close, Struddy. Just like, Struddy's 13 points in 5 games, very close to McDavid's 13 points in 5 games. Very close. Very
2 minutes
close.
away.
The Oilers, Struds, they're down 3-1. I'm not sure a lot of people would have expected that. The Ducks, give them credit. They haven't fluked their way to this series lead thus far. I know you're a penalty killer. I never really understood why Ty Emberson got taken off the penalty kill. He's good. But Knobloch, I asked him about, you got to make some changes. Their penalty kill is awful. It's 50%. And Emberson is going to go. I don't think one guy can magically fix everything, but what do you think he can bring that maybe they're lacking?
Well, let's just go back to the goal last game with Cutter Gauthier. And he shot that from the dot, like that dot line. And that, to me, is, I get you're trying to protect from passes through the slot, but you also don't want a 41 goal scorer picking his shot from the dot. Like that is right there. In my opinion, Ekholm has to hold the dot line. So you don't have to go aggressively and run at him, but you just stand on that dot and you don't allow him to come in and shoot from there. So now just think about if you're standing on the dot, your stick extends out another few feet. Now you've pushed him out of range. Instead, you back off, and Ekholm's stick wasn't even touching the dot. So now that's a guy that knows how to score going up against a goalie. And just rips it over his shoulder. So that, to me, is too easy. You got to hold those positions. So I think if I'm Ty Emerson, and they're kind of reviewing their penalty kill, which, as you mentioned, is not running at a very good clip, go out there, try to hold your ground. I get you want to take away those passes across, but hold your ground, because on the flank, you don't want guys walking in and shooting either. So that's Emerson, that's everyone out there, to get them out and just hold your ground on those shooters off the flanks.
Okay. I look at Jake Wallman, and to me, he looks like a player who's feeling it, Struds. And I'm like, I got to play him more than 15 minutes a night. Where do you come up?
Yeah, I know, and I think so too. And this is the best Jake's played all year, right? I think he's played well, and I think he's initiating contact, what I think is important. And he's also on his toes, playing on his toes. And he's a good skater, and he's strong. And you can tell he's confident by the way he's, circling the net with the puck, and gets a little bit hairy at times, but he's a confident player right now, and that's good. So, how do you get him in there more, and who do you pair him with to get him more ice time? Those are decisions they have to make, but he seems to have energy, and there are others that maybe don't have the same energy right now. So that's a guy I am looking to get more ice time in, and even at times throw him out maybe beside, one of the top 4 guys, or playing with the top 4 guy, just to get him more ice time and get him feeling it more in this game.
Jason Strudwick joins us. So you look at the Ducks tonight, Struddy, and I feel that Edmonton hasn't really put the Ducks in uncomfortable positions very often yet in the playoffs here. Like when they've had leads early in games, they've given them up pretty quickly, other than game 4. And You know how, like, if you're trailing, the longer you trail, Strudge, you get a little bit more desperate, right? You're like, oh my God. And like, they've never had to go into the third period trailing. Edmonton hasn't put the Ducks, I think, in a position where maybe you would start to cheat or try something outside of the norm because they've been leading or they've been right in the game and they've never had to felt the need to. And I do believe that, like, the pressure mounts in playoffs at different times. And if you have inexperience, but you don't ever put them in that position to experience a little higher stress, you're kind of playing into their hands.
Well, a couple of things. So one, they had the 2-0 lead. They couldn't get that third goal. But I think the Ducks are like, these guys will take some penalties. And when they do, we're going to score in the power play. And, the Oilers did take, I didn't like the penalties they took last game. I thought, the Wallman one where he hits, I think it was Carlson, Szymanski's penalty, obviously you can't take it. And there's others I just didn't like, and you get back on it. So they're beating the Oilers at their own game, which historically has been get on the power play for the Oilers and tune up the other team. So if you do that, I think that if you stay out of the box, which I think they really need to, obviously with the way the PK is rolling, that'll help or harder for them to get back into it. But then managing the game, and we get into the third period and overtime, and 2 times the Oilers, 2 veterans has had the puck at or near the blue line, and they're unable to get it out. They go on their backhand, if I remember correctly, both Trent and Leon, and they're not able to get it out. And that, in those moments, that is unforgivable. Just ask Quinton Byfield last year what happened when that happened. So that area around the blue line is huge. So it's not sexy. No one's putting that, oh my God, Jason Gregor got it out the blue line. What a play. And I'm putting that on Instagram. But those are moments that a veteran team needs to know. You got to get it out. So maybe don't ice in that moment. I get it. But I'd rather you ice it than throw it to their D-man. You can just catch it. And then, seconds later, it's in the back of your net. So I think managing they should be able to really manage their game when they do have a lead. If you're not pressing, at least you're not giving other teams the chances like we saw in those 2 goals that I think it was the last 2 goals, Greg.
Yeah, Strudge, you are right. That wouldn't be on the highlight reel because things that happen every time, they don't get put on the highlight reel. So puck out, no big deal. It happens all the time.
But it's not sexy.
Reel. No, I agree.
It's not a sexy play.
But it's
but you're supposed to get it out. That's the job. And not to pick on those 2, but in that moment, your job is to get that puck out when you're on the wall. And, people are like, well, you got to make a better play. No, that's the play you have. And sometimes the play is off the glass. And that's what you have to do. Get it out, reset. Because when you get it out that extra 3 feet, now all 10 skaters have to clear the blue line and you have a chance to reset, maybe change, whatever. When you don't, the only people that can change are perhaps one of the 5 players on offense, and they're getting fresh lines and they keep pounding it down at you. So those moments are huge. And the Oilers, they know that. Like they've done it so many times in the past.
Mike Kelly had the stat that the Anaheim Ducks have the second most goals scored right after takeaways. They have 9 of them that have occurred. I think it's within 5 or 10. I can't remember if it's 5 or 10 seconds. I saw the tweet. I just saw the number of goals scored right after takeaways. And so you look at the Frederick goal, you look at the Draisaitl goal. There's 3 other ones. I don't even know if like a win face-off to me, I don't think would necessarily classify as that, but that's been a problem for Edmonton. Edmonton's a more experienced team, and I don't think they've managed the puck as well as the Anaheim Ducks have in this series. And that to me is not coaching, right? Like I know everybody's, hey, give the coach credit. Like you don't think the coach is telling you, you've coached. Hey guys, let's break out this way. Let's manage the puck, and then the players don't do it because you know that it's a split-second decision, and sometimes it's not always going to be the right decision. I can live with that as a coach, but when it just seems that right now the Oilers are the team that's breaking more than just bending.
Yeah, and that's the point. So yeah, there are going to be turnovers in a game, and it is unfortunate. Now there are some turnovers that are worse than others for sure. But then that moment right after, until you stabilize the situation, is really huge. So it's okay, I don't make the right play. Okay, that's fine. It's not fine, but we have to deal with it. So what do we do now? Let's get into our default mode and just hang on and sort this out. Keep them to the outside, and make it really hard for them to get what they want, or how they want to do it. Just think about the overtime goal. Goes off Darnell Nurse's leg, but you got to give Chris Kreider a lot of credit. He backs into Nurse and he establishes body position on Darnell, and then Darnell's trying to fight to get back into that body position. And while he's doing it, hits his feet. Now he can't know that that's going to happen, but Chris Kreider does a really good job. He compounds the Oilers' problem at the blue line by the way he seals Darnell. And then he's now got the complete front side of that play. Darnell's fighting to get back, and the puck goes off his skate. So if Darnell's able to establish position earlier, or if Kreider doesn't do it, because that was a really good play. I've had that happen to me before, and it's really hard to get back in there, but it's a good play by Kreider. So it's that moment after the turnover. Can we just hang on until we get our numbers back, and then we get back in our position, and then we sort it out?
Struddy, what's your expectations tonight?
Man, I the way the Oilers, the energy they seem to have or not have, and then the injuries that are piled up, and I saw your comment about it. I think it's tough. I really think it's tough. The Ducks have been the better team for most of this series. You got the first period of the first game. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not sure that the Oilers are flying to Anaheim tomorrow.
Yeah, well, the Oilers led for 48 minutes in Game 4. They never trailed. There's lots to like about that game other than their inability to hold the lead, but they had the lead, then they gave it up, and they got it back, then they gave it up, and then, of course, they had another, error that wasn't even like the Ducks are on you, but Trent Frederick had more than enough time to get the puck out.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so Edmonton this is unfortunately, and I've said this for years, when the Oilers are Oilering, they are Santa Claus. They will give up goals a lot easier than other teams. And you know what? In that game 3, goal 3 and 4, they were kind of gifts where you had a chance to get the puck out. The Ducks could have done nothing if you just did the simple play. And if they keep it simple tonight, it might not be enough to win 3 in a row. Right? That's pretty hard to do. But to win 1 in a row, I could see it happening. Obviously, the health of McDavid is the big wild card, like how good he is. But here's the thing. Other teams have guys who have played nicked up. And even in 19 minutes, he had 2 points. Like Draisaitl's line's going. I want to get your thoughts quickly on Savoy and Roslovic, and maybe what do you think they can do better or different to have more of an impact offensively in the series?
I think Roslovic is doing what I expect him to do, and we saw it in the past in the playoffs. Right? He's not elevating his game at this point. So at best you don't really notice him. I think for Savoy, he's trying to figure it out. Right? It's so fast out there. And he's trying to, figure things out. I think if I was Savoy, obviously playing with Connor, you want to, try to make plays, but I think you want to be disruptive. Get it on those D-men as fast as you can and make it uncomfortable for them to make plays. You're not running them, but use your speed. That's your asset. That's his superpower. Get in there, smart, attack, and disruptive for them so that you can get pucks back or whoever it is beside him can get those pucks back. But those two guys, it'd be nice if offensively they could check into this, and if at worst be more disruptive in the case of both guys.
Struddy, we will chat with you next week. Have a good one.
Yep, talk to you guys.
There you go. That is Jason Strudwick. We'll come back. We'll get hear from Jackson Lacombe, Kasperi Kapanen, 2 guys who have been front and center for both of their teams in this series. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
50, 50, 50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the ring, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
Hey, it's Jamie from Green Drop Lawn Care. From the big mall in the west to the Arena District downtown, Edmonton is beautiful. But when I see your lawns, I know one thing's for certain. Weeds are coming. Be proactive and take advantage of our early bird savings until April 30th.
Green Drop has been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. And they're in your community, keeping your yard looking beautiful with affordable lawn care packages that include fertilizer, weed control, drought fighter, and more. Visit greendrop.com.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth EE football coverage online, elksnation.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for watching the show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Oilers, Ducks tonight. Puck drop a few minutes after 8 o'clock. Connor Ingram will start in goal. Ducks, no lineup changes for them. McDavid and Dickinson didn't take the morning skate, but neither did Troy Terry, and I expect them to play. I think there's, if I had to pick, Dickinson's probably the less likely of the two to play for the Edmonton Oilers, but just a sense around the room and everything, I'd be very, very surprised if Connor McDavid doesn't find a way to get in the game tonight. I think this is just maintenance and rest, and we all know that he's a little bit banged up. Why do you need to take the morning skate when it's unnecessary? So don't see him being a factor tonight. Now, let's hear from the Ducks side. We'll get to Kasperi Kapanen, but Jackson Lacombe has been really good for the Ducks and caught up with him in the Ducks dressing room earlier this morning.
Jackson Lacombe. Jackson, been a fantastic series for your team and for you personally. Well, you look at the minutes you're playing, just the challenge and how much fun it is when you go up against the best players as often as you have in this series.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, obviously. Like I said earlier, it's just a big challenge for us, and whenever you're playing against those top guys, it's a full group effort to try and shut them down and do what you can. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting challenge for us, and we just got to keep playing our game.
You know, Leon Draisaitl was talking about how you're not necessarily the flashy defenseman like a Makar, but you make the right decision all the time with the puck, and that can be more challenging sometimes for the opposing team because it doesn't seem like a guy gets rattled. Where does that poise come from for you? How do you work on that and become to this level?
Yeah, I think it's just a skill you try and work on, and you just want to be patient with the puck, be smart with it. But I think it comes down to a lot of teamwork. I think guys being in the right spot and all of us supporting each other just makes it easy to make those plays. And I think just all of us being connected definitely helps.
How much has Trouba helped you?
Yeah, a lot. Obviously, he's got a ton of experience, and he's been here so many times. So just little tips and tricks here and there, and obviously a tremendous person too. So just been a huge influence on me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Your head coach has a ton of experience, of course, but for a lot of your core guys, this is your first opportunity in the playoffs, and obviously it's been a lot of fun, I would guess, by the results. But what have you learned in 4 games that maybe you feel that you can use to your advantage tonight in Game 5?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I think the intensity ramps up, obviously the physicality, and like I said, it's going to be a bigger challenge each night. So for us, we just got to continue to do the same thing. Can't get ahead of ourselves. Can't get too low either. So we just got to have confidence in our group and trust each other.
Going up against McDavid, he's obviously got that ankle injury. Do you sense that he maybe doesn't attack like he normally does? So do you play him different because you don't necessarily have to worry about the turbo speed?
No, I think he's always a dangerous player, and he's so good, so skilled, so smart. So he can always make things happen, and you always have to be aware when he's on the ice, and just be smart.
Good luck, man. So there you go, Jackson Lacombe, who's 8 points, leading the Ducks 2 points a game. He's not the flashy defenseman, but man, he's being effective. He's playing almost 27 minutes a night for the Ducks, and if you're Edmonton, now easier said than done. And he's been hit the second most times of any Ducks player. So the Oilers are being physical on him, but you'd like to be more if you could, right? It's hard. It's very hard when the Oilers are chipping and chase on a one-man forecheck. And I think that's the one element of their game that I think they'd like to improve. And I think a lot of it starts with the stretch pass. And I asked Chris Knobloch specifically about that. And we'll get to that here in a second on Knobloch, because I found that here it is on his to adjust to the stretch pass and kind of the frequency of how often they're using it. Would he like to see it used less?
Yeah, I think, there's times to use it and there's times not. When you have somebody stretching, at least pushes them back. And, whether you use them or not, it's often, if you do make that pass, it's can be a home run. It can be a breakaway. That very rarely happens and usually gets broken up and it ends up being a one-man forecheck. And yeah, it'd be nice to get more guys carrying that puck up together as a group. But this time everyone's back checking so well and getting above, and it's hard to, making the pass to the forwards while you've either got a defenseman sitting on you or another forward. So sometimes, unfortunately, the only option that you have is to make that long stretch pass. So yeah, we'd like to get away from it, but often it's the only resource we have.
Well, hey, it was interesting what he said. He'd like the players to get back. So at times are they settling? Like, I think the forwards got to get deeper at times. Like, hey, the stretch pass works sometimes, but if you look at where I went through every Oilers goal of the series, and that play has never really led to any of their goals. Like the closest one was the Wallman to Dickinson, their opening goal. But if you go back and look, that was, in the neutral zone, both teams are changing. Wallman gets on the ice. Now he's high in the zone, not deep. There's no forecheck. He's high in the zone. He's deep. And as Dickinson comes off the bench, now look where the boards are, right? Because the Oilers are going left to right. Dickinson, the boards are on the left side. He comes out, he circles below the blue line. Now he goes up far side. Wallman skates up to the blue line and fires a dagger to Dickinson. That was more of that wasn't the stretch pass that we're seeing where the Oilers are deep in their zone. They fired up to a stationary player in the neutral zone. And then basically he chips it in. And now he can't even forecheck because he's standing still. So he's got one other guy going. It hasn't worked. So you know what? If you want to give it up to the guy stationary, then have the defenseman give and go and have the defenseman skate up then. See that? Because too often I think the play is just dying on that stretch pass of the neutral zone that's resulted in sometimes just a redirection. I hate that play. Like if you're changing, okay, I get it. You're tired. You want to get off the ice, fine. But too often Edmonton does that. And to me, all that is a giveaway that isn't classified as a giveaway because you've gave possession to the other team. Yes, they're in their own zone, but you have nobody forechecking, and often it's an easy out, and now they regroup and come the other way. So I would like to see less of it. It doesn't mean you can never do it. I just think we've seen it too frequently for my liking. Here is his thoughts when I asked him about maybe switching up the penalty kill and will Emerson or Wallman be used on the PK?
Absolutely, both those guys can kill, and maybe Ekholm and Bouchard, maybe some 5-on-5 time. But Wallman and Emerson, especially Emerson, who's been, that's been pretty much his chair. Like he's been a very good penalty killer for us. Obviously, when you're getting Murphy, who's outstanding at that, also, it's kind of pushed him out of the in that position. But I think we'll see more of Emerson killing tonight.
So there you go. Smart. As it should be. Emerson's been good. The penalty kill this year has been horrible. You got to try something. You can't just say, well, you know what, guys, they're going to get it. When? In the summertime? You're in win now mode. And tonight is where I believe coaching should be even more imperative. You got to chase is probably too strong of a word, but you need to be assertive in getting the matchups that benefit your team more. The Draisaitl line has been killing it. You can play them against anybody, but you can strategically look at certain things and when you put guys on the ice. And they've wanted Lacombe out there way more against McDavid. Well, I'm at home last change. Put Draisaitl's line out. Draisaitl's outscored Jackson Lacombe 3-0 when they're on the ice. Right? Jackson Lacombe in the other time has been murdering the Edmonton Oilers. Right? 7-1. So why not? You're at home. That trio has been the Oilers' best line. We all agree? Jackson Lacombe has been their best defenseman. Even he hasn't had success against them. So why wouldn't you look to do it? I know you can't do it all the time, but don't just accept the matchup and just let Anaheim get the matchups they want as often as they can on home ice. That's the whole point of home ice, is to have it. So 4:59. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Mark Spector will join us. Also, we just got these in. This is from one of our sponsors in the station, Napa. So we're going to do a rapid-fire little auction if you want to go to the game tonight. You're probably going to get a great deal. Now, these are cons. What'd you say? There's a lower bowl seats, row 23 in the lower bowl where the Oilers attack twice. Nice. So, highest bid at $550. You'll get them. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Text in your bid, and away you go. You'll be going to the game tonight. Pair of seats. Obviously not one. It's 2 tickets. So 833-401-1440 tonight. Let's get to the con man. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Where, hey, it's getting nice out. But you know what? If you're looking for an awesome deal on a new vehicle, you want to go to northgategm.com. Check out the brand new Autoplex. They got even more vehicles to choose from. Unbelievable showroom. You'll love it. northgategm.com.
1440 update.
Game day, Oilers Ducks, game 5 from Rogers Place as the Oilers look to avoid elimination. Trailing 3-1. Puck drop, 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson. He'll also be joined by former NHLers Landon Ferraro and Tyson Barrie. We've also got the Stars and Wild meeting in Dallas. That series had at 2 games apiece, and at 5:30, Sabres trying to wrap up their series against the Bruins, leading 3-1. In the association, Boston taking on the Sixers, up 3-1 in their series. You also got the Spurs trying to wrap up their series with the Trailblazers at 7:30. At 6, Hawks Knicks meeting from New York. That series tied at 2 games apiece. Major League Baseball tonight, the Jays in action, taking on the Red Sox. Trey Savage making his first start of the season for the Bluebirds. Right now, Cards up on the Pirates, 1-0. Orioles have a 2-0 lead over the Astros, while the Rays and Guardians are scoreless. Later tonight, Twins got the Mariners. Yankees in Texas taking on the Rangers. Cubs and Padres. Athletics host the Royals, and the Marlins head to LA for a matchup with the Dodgers. CFL draft getting going shortly. The Elks currently selecting third and have 4 selections in the first 21 picks. You can follow our social media platforms as Mackenzie McClendon will be down at Commonwealth covering all the action in the BCHL. It's Game 7 in Brooks as the Bandits host the Crusaders. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. Coming up in Hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
50, 50, 50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details. And
50.
The Brick, saving you more.
Sleep is for the off-season. What off-season? Sports 1440 is live, loud, and locked.
40.ca,
24/7.
Facebook,
Oilers,
X,
Elks, Riverhawks,
and
Stingers, Oil
Instagram.
Kings. Got your picks. Edmonton's home to sports. It's Sports 1440.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Measles is very dangerous during pregnancy, increasing the risk of many severe health-related complications. If you're planning to become pregnant, make sure you have received 2 doses of the vaccine at least 1 month before conception. Don't get measles, get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Ford It's a Big Deal event is on now. Get a big deal on a 2026 F-150 STX with Black Appearance Package. Visit your Alberta Ford store today.
Tim's Smile Cookie is here. And with every bite, you'll help make a difference close to home. Because 100% is donated to over 600 local charities and community groups. Buy your Tim's Smile Cookies April 27th to May 3rd. At participating restaurants in Canada for a limited time.
Yes and no. Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We return game day, must-win day, first one of the season. A literal must-win situation for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Win, and you can fly to Anaheim for Game 6. Lose, and you'll be having a locker clean-out day and such for the rest of the week, and then we'll see what happens. Would be an interesting offseason for the Edmonton Oilers, but they are hoping to delay that a little bit longer and get a win tonight against the Anaheim Ducks. We are back on the rocks, Jasper Abbott, 118th Street, where people are coming in tonight. We see the Oilers jerseys. Hey, you know what? There's lots of people that are upset, but you know what I like about it? You're still watching. You're like, well, I want to watch. You know, a lot of people texting, season's over. They're done. They're not winning tonight. But you're going to watch. You could be right. They might not win, but you'll still be interested in. I'm very curious to see what kind of performance the Edmonton Oilers will put on. Tonight, you can get it on the Gregor Show odds boost specials, playalberta.ca. Ducks win, Oilers win. I will say we kind of loaded a little bit up on the one thing that I'm confident in. I don't know about who's going to win, but the Draisaitl line is likely going to have a pretty big offensive impact in the game tonight. As it's time now for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they are hiring operators, top men. That's you, or you're just looking to get in on the ground level. Go to gsconstruction.ca/careers for an opportunity to create a career, not just a job. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Doing great, man. How you doing? How's it on the rocks? Anyone there having a couple of bracers before the big game yet?
There's been a few. I've noticed there's a few people who've taken an extended lunch break starting at 2:00, so that's nice. But it's it's good. It's the calm before the storm, shall we say, right now, Spec. So it's always nice to come into OTR during the day because I see a lot of places that I didn't know that existed in here. So I think that's a little bit different. So that's good. Where do you come out on McDavid and Dickinson as far as their opportunities of playing tonight?
Well, I mean, it's such a guess, right? Dickinson hasn't taken a skate. He's missed half the series, but he did come back and play and made it through the whole game. I hated the way he was skating. He's just not skating very well, but he did play, to his credit. So I'm going to guess that this is just going to be the Dickinson we get for a while until he could get an extended rest, which is unlikely. So I would guess he'll play. And, you know, Connor McDavid's never missed a playoff game. So I won't be the guy who says he's about to start. We did see his best bursts of speed at the very end of the game the other night in Anaheim. So I guess he'll play. To me, it's, you know, you're always better when he plays, even if he's at 60%, but he is playing at 60, 70%. And he's, you know, it's kind of hard to watch him sometimes, right? He's really struggling out there. So I'll say they'll both play. So that's the good news. The bad news is neither of them are anywhere near the top form.
Connor Ingram, what are your thoughts on him going back to get the start?
Yeah, I think every coach I've ever known is going to go down with his A guy. And, we you know, no one argues. You wouldn't argue. Ingram became the A guy here. That's what he took the job. He's the number one. He's the starter. And now that your lives are on the line, you go down with your best guy. So you hate to lose a game tonight by a goal and say, man, I might have left the better goalie on the bench. And they're not doing that. So I'm not at all surprised that he's starting. And, you know, maybe he can give him a game. Somebody's got to hold this Ducks team to 2 goals here. They haven't done it yet, and that's what needs to happen.
There are going to be some changes. Colton Dach sounds like he's going to play, but
who comes
more
out?
So, well, that I don't. I would guess Lazar. Maybe Trent Frederick. I don't think he's done very much, so it could be one of those two guys coming out, unless there's somebody else that we don't know who's injured. But everybody else was skating, so that would be my guess. Now, obviously, if Dickinson or McDavid can't go, well, then that's an easy one. But
then it's easy one.
Emberson will. I asked Novak about it. Like, they got to change their penalty kill, so Emberson's going to be one of the guys. Now, one guy can't fix everything, of course not, but they're making some changes, and I'm not sold it's just going to be Emberson. I'm gonna look closely to see some other differences, because right now they're getting absolutely destroyed on the penalty kill, especially in the second periods. They've given up 5 goals in the second period on the power play.
Yeah, I got no explanation for the period part of it, but when the other team's power plays 50%, you're 4 games into a series. It's, you know, the only surprise is you're not down 4-0. instead of 3-1, like 50%. That's what Anaheim's at. Edmonton's PK, obviously 50%. So you've got the best power play in the league in the playoffs and the worst PK. That's how teams lose out in the first round. If you come to the party with a 50% PK, you don't get to stay very long. And that's exactly where Edmonton's at. If they could kill a penalty, this would be at worst a 2-2 series, and you'd be right in it. But that's been the big deciding factor. There's no question, man. And I'd say to you, too, that Edmonton's probably taken more kind of penalties they didn't need to take than Anaheim has taken. Edmonton's been less disciplined and had a worse PK. They've been more disciplined, and Anaheim had a way better power play. And you can win a series off of that, can't you?
Well, yeah, you can definitely. Hey, remember when the Oilers are beating the Kings and at a 55% power play, right? Like you're just like, how do you stop them? And that's kind of where the Oilers are. And so, obviously, taking fewer penalties would help, but that doesn't solve the problem, because even if you only take 2, you still give up 1. That's not good. So they just simply need to be better, more assertive on the penalty kill, no doubt in my mind. And the other thing, Spec, no one has a problem with their starts. Their starts are fine, but when they get up, like, they've got to find a way to put the Ducks in an uncomfortable position. I don't really think they've done that yet this series.
No, they were up 2-0 in Anaheim, and then they Szymanski took a penalty, and it was 2-1. Get 3-0's a big. It would have been great, and they couldn't quite get there. Then they give up the goal, and the momentum that this young Ducks team has, the belief when they're behind that they're going to catch up to you, is crazy right now, and it should be. I mean, they set a record for late third period comebacks, and all they've done all year is come back on everybody. So why wouldn't they believe? And the Oilers haven't given them a reason not to believe. Edmonton's led every game in this series and lost 3 of 4. So you got to put a dent in Anaheim's belief here, right? You got to put a dent in it, because these guys are just a freight train right now. They think they can do anything, and they're not wrong. You got to put a dent in that power play. You got to put a dent in the ability to come back from a deficit. You got to put a dent in the ability to get 4 or 5 power plays a night. Edmonton has to make changes. Change has to come, because right now status quo is 3-1 Ducks, and the Oilers got to turn several things around in this series. And you're right, Jay. I've heard the LA Kings talking just like I'm talking now for 4 years. Yeah. And they're scratching their heads. Man, we can't let the Oilers do this. And I don't know how the Oilers are doing that to us. And guess where the shoe is right now? It's on the other foot.
Yes, Mark Spector here on Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Now, a few other things, Spec. The Oilers and just the ability for them, I think, to maintain offensive zone possession time. Haven't seen a lot of it so far in the series. And like outside of Draisaitl line, there hasn't been a ton of extended offensive zone time, like 30-second shifts, 40-second shift. The Ducks have been doing that to Edmonton. You think the Oilers can do it? And if so, how do you think they go about it? Like, to me, like, I just look at that fourth line of Anaheim's compared to Edmonton's fourth line. Like, there's not more skill on Anaheim's fourth line, but they've been more effective.
They have been. The time of possession, if this was a football game, it wouldn't be close, and I know that Anaheim's a volume shot team. They shoot a lot from everywhere, and it's working for them. Why would you change? But to get all those shots, you need to have the puck all the time. And Edmonton, you're right. As the games have gone on, Jay, Edmonton has become a team they're the team that's dumping it out and changing, and Anaheim's coming right back in at them. Dump it out and change, right back in on you. And that's another tide that has to start going the other way. It's just a matter of time till Anaheim brings it in on you, and they don't leave your zone till the red light turns on. So, you're talking really about if you're saying to me that the Draisaitl lines had good zone time and they've cycled pucks and done a good job, which I'd agree, we're really talking about the McDavid line. Why haven't they been able to do it too? Right?
Yeah, but even the fourth line, right? Like, every line can do it. You can't just expect your fourth line. Like, what else are they supposed to do? Chip the puck in, let them go out all the time? Like, it's
no. They need some zone time for sure. They need some zone time. I don't have the support scoring for this team. It hasn't been bad. They've been getting some goals from around their lineup. They're getting 3-4 even strength goals a night. That's not bad, right? How many goals does Hyman have in this series? 1?
Yeah.
He has 1. I think Nugent Hopkins has 1, if I'm not mistaken, banged in a rebound. And McDavid, I believe, has 1 on the power play. So let's say that's your top line, wherever Nugent Hopkins plays. Sometimes he's up there, sometimes it's Savoy. Savoy doesn't have any goals in this series, right? So, you got 2 or 3 goals from your top line. And really, that's probably a huge part of the difference here. That line is not cycling. That line is not keeping zone time. Listen, Connor McDavid just isn't Connor McDavid. Your best, like, that line does it by McDavid having the puck a lot and then other guys helping get the cycle going. And then McDavid's got it back. Someone's open, boom, pass, score. McDavid's unable to fulfill that area of his game right now. That's, I think, the biggest difference. He just can't. He's not skating around circles in the zone with the puck like he has for 10 years. He's not doing it in this series. And respect to the Ducks, it's not because the Ducks are so awesome. It's because he's injured. So they got to find a new way to score that line that isn't incumbent on Connor McDavid beating guys one-on-one, holding pucks for a long time, winning battles along the boards. He's not going to do that. So they got to figure out a new way to score, and they better hurry.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. Well, and the other thing is just playing better defensively. Like, you look at the 3rd and 4th goals last game. Just chip the puck out. They didn't get it out. They stay in. And that's been the one thing about the Oilers that, they haven't found much consistency all year long. So maybe at the end of the day, we shouldn't be that shocked that they're not consistent defensively.
Well,
right?
I mean, there's a couple things there. The whole year-long thing, it's true. We've really learned, that you can't flip a switch. And this team planned on flipping a switch. They flipped the switch after the Olympic break, and they were pretty good down the stretch. They're pretty good at the end of the year, Jay. No one minded their game. And they looked very ready to enter the playoffs. Then they got a bunch of injuries, and it's all off the table. But in this series, like, I'd say to you that the Oilers have to find a way to make 3 goals be enough to win a hockey game. They have to find that. And if they, the Ducks are going to challenge you there. It's hard to hold the Ducks to 1 or 2 goals, man. They're really, really good offensively. Now, a healthy Oilers team would say, screw it. Let's play 5-4 hockey and we'll win our share. We'll probably win more than you'll win. They could beat the Ducks 6-5. They could beat the Ducks 5-4. But the problem is all their best offensive guys are hurt. So the Oilers can't play 5-4 hockey with this Anaheim team. They can't play it, Jay. They won't score enough goals. They won't outscore Anaheim in this series if they play that kind of hockey. So they got to figure out how to win 3-2 hockey. They have to. And that is incumbent. That starts with your PK. If you can't beat Anaheim in a low-scoring game over the next 3 games, the Oilers are going to be out because the Oilers don't have what it takes right now to win 5-4 hockey games. They just don't have it. The best guys are hurt that do all the scoring. Hyman's hurt. Draisaitl's hurt. McDavid's hurt. Dickinson, your third-line center's hurt. You don't have a fourth-line center. Adam Henrique's in the press box. They got to win tight check and boring hockey, and we haven't seen an ounce of that played yet so far in this series.
And lastly, the CFL announces today they're going to make some changes starting next year. Season will begin earlier in May. This Grey Cup will be on the 7th of November. They're also going to add in another round of playoffs where the top 2 teams in the West will face each other, top 2 teams in the East, the winner. It's kind of like a curling bonspiel, right? 1 versus 2 page system. Moves on, and the loser has to play again, and then 5 versus 8. What do you make of the changes in the CFL starting next year, not this year?
It's starting next year, not this year. Okay, well, I learned something there. I thought it was starting right away. I mean, I like an earlier season. I want to hear what you think because you're more in tune with the CFL than I am. I like an earlier season. I don't care. People are saying, it makes the regular season a waste of time. Who cares? I think, the regular season we enjoy watching. I like watching my CFL football every weekend, and then let's have more playoff games. I don't mind that. All in all, I think it's pretty cool. And I like the fact that Grey Cup's on November 7th, not November 23rd or 4th. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. I like all the changes, honestly. To me, because I know we had some texters. They're like, I don't want, there's more playoffs isn't better. And I'm like, yeah, but we're getting more playoff games for the best teams. And that usually leads to better. So I never loved that you only had to win 1 game to get to the championship. So I like this format better. to be honest. It feels a little bit more special. And you get an advantage, earn the playoffs and a bye. Is that different? Yes. I don't care. Different doesn't necessarily mean bad. And I like it. It's going to increase the excitement of the playoff. And the other thing, Spec, the Labor Day matchups now will be even later in the season, which makes them even more likely eventful for the playoff push. So I love that too.
Yeah, all of that works. I mean, I think the CFL is the last league that can afford to be static. It needs change. We know what it is. It's struggling to stay relevant. So why wouldn't you throw some curveballs at the fan base, some changes, move your schedule up a little bit? I like all this stuff. They're trying to be, it's a little sort of kind of like the way baseball changed a bunch of their rules when they found that all young people weren't watching anymore. And it worked great for baseball. And the CFL, on the same vein, they got to hustle here. They need people in their seats. They need relevance in Canada. And I think that's what they're trying to gain. I admire the fact that they're trying all this stuff.
Spec, we'll see you at the rink. Have a good one.
All right, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. The Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. The Elks are on the clock at the CFL draft. We'll give you their pick likely when we return. Also, right now, a steal of a deal on. We got a pair of seats, lower bowl for the game tonight. Only at 200 bones. It's all going to charity. So if you want in, great deal. 833-401-1440. You can get a bargain tonight. 833-401-1440. Top bid at $5.55 is going to get the tickets. 833-401-1440. You can get in, help the charity, and enjoy the game tonight. So top bid right now is Mike at 200, 833-401-1440.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
50-50-50. Right now at Papa John's, you order carry-out, you get 50% off the pizza, loaded with the toppings you love. You want pepperoni? You got it. You want the works? Done. Always made with our fresh, never frozen dough. Half the price for the pizza you already love. When you come grab it, just use promo code CO50. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. 50% off regular menu price pizzas. Carry out only. Use promo code CO50. Participating locations, restrictions may apply.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Carius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy for comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
528. All right. Andrew came in at 250. Mike at 300. And now we are up to 400 with loops. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Bargain and try to go online and get tickets like this. So this is a great deal. And it's going to charity. So a win-win for you. Orders attack twice. Row 23, section 112 for game tonight. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. The Oilers taking on the Anaheim Ducks tonight. Also, the CFL draft is underway, and the picks so far, offensive lineman, no real surprise there so far. And Ottawa, everybody was predicting who Ottawa was going to take, and they did. They kind of got a plug-and-play offensive lineman in Vaccaro. Toronto then took Hennig, who I think another offensive lineman who I think the Elks obviously had some interest in, and now the Elks are on the clock. No pick yet, right, Cons?
Nothing as of yet, but we're watching. We'll keep you up to date as it happens.
All right, so we'll see. There's some people speculating to make a trade. I guess it's always possible, but I guess I'd be a little surprised. Now let's get back into the Oilers room here. Connor Murphy, who's had a pretty good playoffs, I think, for the Edmonton Oilers, has scored a goal. The pick is in, Cons. Who is it?
It is Daryl Jabon, linebacker out of Rutgers.
Oh.
Invited to the Commanders mini camp, the 8th ranked player by the CFL scouting guru.
Okay, all right.
Bureau. That's the word.
Yeah. Did you say bureau?
I did,
I was like, who's the bureau? Is that like the guru's friend?
As soon as I said it, like, that's not right. Bureau.
I love it. Oh, that's we might have to use that word now. Oh, the bureau. I like it's conspiracy.
Putting a spin on it a little bit.
Yeah, why not? That was classic. Here's Connor Murphy on what he feels the Oilers need to do so they can play how they want, because I think it's fair to say through 4 games, the series has kind of gone a little bit more how Anaheim style of play.
I think our skill takes over when we have possession more, and when we're able to play with our speed up the ice and then create in their zone and get teams on their heels. So we haven't been able to do that as much, whether it's their forecheck getting on us or whether we're disconnected coming up or not getting our forecheck going. There's been different cases for all of it, but if we can get on our toes and get our speed and skill working and then create pressure on them and make them play in their heels more, it'll be better.
That would be key. What about the challenges of moving the puck when they got the stretch pass? The players are behind this. They're out of the zone too early. The stretch play. How could that benefit their team? Maybe do they have to change how they're playing?
it's different cases. Sometimes that happens when guys are in the middle of a change or their team. What they do a lot is they flush our D out. They won't let you kind of set up and wait for your forwards to come and swing and give you support sometimes. So they give a lot of pressure. So that just kind of just preaches then that we have to stay a little more closer connected. There are times when you do want to have guys stretched out to get their D out of the zone to create space underneath to skate up the ice. So there's different situations that comes into play, but in general, you just want to be able to connect, whether you hit the stretch guy and bump it back or hit a guy low to come up with speed.
And the Ducks have had a great ability to come back. 2 games in this series have been down 2-0. They actually scored 3 in a row. Edmonton did come back to win that one in game 1, but game 4, down 2-0, down 3-2. They came back both times, ended winning. Is there something the Oilers need to do different when they're leading?
The one consistent thing I see is our penalty kill. We have been giving up goals. Feels like every game. So on our unit, it's part of me being on the penalty kill as well, to be able to shut teams down and not giving them that momentum when we do get penalties against us. The playoffs, that's such a big thing. Things are going to happen where we get calls against us, and we got to weather that and be able to turn it into momentum for us. So that's part of it. And then just playing connected defensively and checking to make sure that when we don't have our offensive shifts or when they are getting a little more speed at us, that we're able to create more stalls and turn things over and not allow them to give chances.
So let's see what happens tonight. Looking at Leon Draisaitl quickly, how does he feel, experience? How does it come into play in an elimination game?
Well, yeah, we've been in worse situations, certainly, but we also know the urgency that we need to bring and what's at stake. And that group looks good to me, and we're excited for tonight.
Leon Draisaitl, the one thing he talked about was what's worked for his line in the series, in his view.
I think we just bring different components to the table, and it matches really well. Obviously, we've played a lot of hockey together, and I love playing with them. Really skilled in different ways. Both great hockey sense, good skaters. They play the game the right way, and we don't overcomplicate things. We make the plays when they're there, and if they're not, we have no problem. Going to forecheck and getting in there. So it's worked.
It has worked, and honestly, for the Oilers to win, that line's going to have to be great again tonight. I think that's the one thing that's going for their team. I think they have to keep it going, no question. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text in. We have people wondering. We are currently at $400 for the tickets for tonight's games. We got about 50 minutes left to get in on that. Spare seats, row 23. Oilers attack twice in that zone, and it's going to be a madhouse in there tonight, no question. I know that the city's a little nervous. There's no doubt about it. But did you see the atmosphere in Pittsburgh last night? It's going to be no different than Edmonton. Like, fans feel like, hey, if I'm cheering louder, maybe there's a chance my team can win. And I've always found in elimination games, the crowd gets even a little bit louder to see how it goes. We'll take a final break. We'll come back. We got Cam Tate. We'll update you on the CFL draft. NHL early game. Minnesota Wild could be getting some good news as I'm watching the warm-ups, and both Zuccarello and Trennan are on the ice for the warm-up for the Minnesota Wild. So they could be getting some reinforcements back for them. Meanwhile, the Sabres looking to defeat the Boston Bruins in 5 games and move on to the second round of the playoffs. And, man, you look at it, what's going on in Buffalo. They're having loads of fun. Hey, I get it. You have a whole fan base. As I mentioned, if you're 25 years of age or younger, you've never really experienced your team in the playoffs. Because when you're 10, maybe you remembered it, maybe, right? But it's you probably forgot. It's been a long time, right? It's been a really long, like they haven't won. Like they've been in the playoffs since last time was 2012. So that's 14 years ago. So let's say you're 25 now. So now you're 11. But you know what the last time they won a playoff round? You got to go back to 2007. So now we're talking, you're 19 years later. You're 6. How many of these 6-year-olds really remember the playoffs that much? So you got a whole generation of fans. That's why I see all these young fans in Buffalo. They're partying outside. They got the dummies, in the streets, and they're playing road hockey, and they're tackling. They're having a blast because they haven't got to experience it. What makes sports so awesome is you feel part of something, whether you play on a team or whether you're part of a fan base and your team's having success. All of a sudden you meet strangers, and guess what? You're all cheering for the same thing. And everybody's excited. 99.999% of the people are having fun. It's good. You're meeting new people, high-fiving strangers. You're hugging strangers. You're all singing. It's great. That's what the playoffs does. It's awesome. And so you've seen that in Buffalo, and it's pretty good. So we got G-Bag is up to $500 now on the ticket. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break, come back with Cam Tate. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
For 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, I'm good to go.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the game live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregate. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
For over 50 years, The Brick has been proudly serving Canada. They love to save you more on everything you need for your home. Save up to 60% off made-in-Canada sofas when you buy the matching love seat or chair. Find patio sets starting at just $99 and save up to 40% off mattresses. Plus, take 5 years to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Taxes and fees due at purchase, OAC. Visit a Brick near you for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.ca, where you can get in the game. $55 million up for grabs tonight in Lotto Max. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boosts. Got a lot of parlays on the dry side of the line, combining again tonight. Oiler victory, maybe? What do you think? How you feeling, Oiler fans? Nervous, excited, or is it over? Some of you say it's over. End the season, and you could be right. But what if they win? All of a sudden, you'd be like, well, I got to watch Game 6. That's why it's true. It's a cliche because it's true. It's never over till it's over. You don't know. You don't know. We know what the odds are. The odds are definitely not in their favor, but they're not 0. And they're not even 1%. Looking at it historically, it's about 10% chance to see where it goes. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Loops is up to 525 on our tickets for tonight. The Elks have made their pick. Linebacker out of Rutgers, Daryl Jabome is who they took, third overall. This was after Vaccaro. The 2 linemen went first, second, Vaccaro and Henning. And now Winnipeg took defensive lineman Newer Gatguth out of Wake Forest. Let's get to Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC. That's right, AC, because it is heating up, baby. We're going to get to 20 degrees this week, so don't wait till you're too hot. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. It's never slowed him down. 45 years in the industry. Cam's always wanted to be on radio. Now, through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
On a day when we are bombarded with information from the Oilers quick, very quick. Morning skate. When Connor McDavid is a game day decision due to injury, ankle sprain perhaps. When the Oilers season could very well come to a crashing, disappointing end. An unwelcomed cursor to an off-season with far more questions than answers. On days like these, perhaps days we take for granted, we are profoundly reminded of the gifts we have. And if you cover hockey, morning skates may seem mundane, but it's a privilege, when it really matters. Not like a minus 45 January juncture in Edmonton, complete with a snowstorm. John Garrett was missing Monday morning at the morning skate of the Utah Mammoth. To get notes, hear quotes, and visit, there's the keyword, visit with the rest of the media, all in preparation of broadcasting Game 4 of the Mammoth and Las Vegas Golden Knights. When John didn't show up, someone checked his hotel room. They found his lifeless body. Reaction from the hockey world. A closeness of brotherhood and sisterhood, hard to describe if you're not part of it, was quick and emotional. The Sportsnet crew did not do the broadcast Monday and canceled covering of the series. Anaheim Ducks coach Joel Quenneville began his media availability this morning with a warm, kind statement about John, saying, "He was one of my favorite people." Online comments and reaction showed true, genuine love for John, a former NHL goaltender turned broadcaster, someone who came into our dining rooms, living rooms, and basements to do what he did the very, very best. Talk hockey. The last time I had a visit with John was, fittingly, at a morning skate. It's times like this we search for ways to remember someone and carry on their legacy. I am vowing to be kinder to others. Look at people straight in the eye when I talk to them. Make them feel like a star. I'll continue to hone my visiting skills everywhere I go, but perhaps especially when I go to morning skate. Rest well, my friend. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
Yeah, very unfortunate passing for John Garrett. Our condolences to all those who were closely with John over the years, but more importantly to his family and friends, as it's always heart-wrenching when someone passes away unexpectedly. So John was always smiling, pretty funny guy, Great nickname, Cheech. I think you can probably understand why. So it was awesome. But rest in peace for John Garrett. 833-401-1440. Some other news, because, hey, it's not just hockey. Of course, Boston trying to stave off elimination like the Edmonton Oilers. The difference is Boston's on the road tonight. But also tonight, on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, Trey Savage is back. And so far, so good for the young Blue Jay pitcher. 3 innings. We gave up 3 hits, but no runs, no walks. Surprisingly, no strikeouts. But it is 0-0 with the Blue Jays batting in the bottom of the third. And getting Savage back, who I assuming is on a pitch count. Tonight he's at 41 pitches through 3 innings. So, if he keeps up that pace, probably could get in 6. Maybe they might have him just only on a 5. We'll kind of see how it goes. But obviously, Cons, it's a good sign to get him back on the mound for the Jays.
100%. Yeah. I mean, they need it too, right? We were talking about the reinforcements coming back, and for Savage, I don't know exactly what the expectations are, Gregor, for him this year. I'd be curious to see what you think. But no news is good news. I mean, as long as he gets through this outing without a setback, I think that's an encouraging sign. The bar is low for me. I just want him to continue to kind of build up that arm strength, the stamina, and a good start. 3 innings, no runs. I'll take it.
Yeah, very much so. Another offensive lineman, Jonathan Dennis, taken by Hamilton. So that's 3 O-linemen in the first 5 picks. No surprises. Pretty good O-line class in the CFL. What's your thoughts on the rule changes of the CFL? Well, I guess, the playoff changes.
Playoff changes. I'll tell you, at first, I think I was like a few people where the first thought was, okay, well, everyone makes the playoffs. That kind of maybe diminishes it just a little bit. But then I think you're just getting more football. Is that really a bad side? And, the cream's going to rise to the crop. That's the way it always goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's fun. And when I look at the bracket, the way they have it set up, I thought, this just seems like one of those proposals that you'd see go to a pro league and would never be passed. But the CFL passed it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to change things up. It's different. And, we've long talked with the CFL and, the diminishing value of the league. And, how do you maybe get people talking about it, get people checking it out, following along a little more closely, and something to look forward to. And this has it. Like, I think this is a really cool thing for fans to pay attention to. The media, obviously, with a little bit of a change, giving it a little bit more attention. It might not be the most orthodox way, but they're trying things. And to me, that's a good sign.
Anytime you have your better teams playing more playoff games, I don't see how that's a negative. Right? That's how I look at this. Your better teams are playing more playoff games. That's what you want. Right? That's what you want. Like, think about week 1 of the playoffs, Connor Halley. That 1-2 game is going to be massive. It's going to be massive for people to watch because you get a bye, right? There's lots to be intrigued by for that, I believe. I like it quite a bit. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. And, there has been a lot of growth in certain areas of the CFL, and I think this will be a good one. People have been clamoring for an earlier start, so now I hope people, hey, they've started earlier. You want to go to playoff games? Now the playoff games will all be, most of them will be done, starting in October. And it's also the thing I like best, Con, like Labor Day is going to be in the final month, basically, of the regular season.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Kind of changed that whole season doesn't start till Labor Day thing. Like, no, you're going to be right in the thick of things. And for those who don't really understand it, the top 2 teams in each division will play. You'll have the 5 versus the 8 seed, the 7 versus the 6, and the winner of the top 2 seeds gets that bye week. The losing team will play the winner of that play-in game with the lower seed. So yeah, like you said, I mean, it's going to create new matchups, which I think is fun. It's different, and that's not bad. I mean, to me, that's kind of the only complaint people have is just that it's different.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, different doesn't always mean bad. I know everybody doesn't like change, but I think in time, these new changes are going to be better for the league. Speaking of changes, we've talked about it a lot. The Edmonton Oilers, can they change the direction of this series? Because right now, it's not going to the direction they wanted. And you're down 3-1. It's obviously a deep hole. They got some injuries. I think there's a lot of people counting them out like, you know what? They're done. And maybe, right, like, here's where it becomes a little bit of a mental battle Because if you think you're done, well, then you're done. And, I didn't get that sense today from any of the players. Because I'll be honest, Cons, I've been in rooms before when teams were down. Like when the Oilers are down 3-0 Colorado, I knew the series was over. Right? Like I knew it was over. Funny enough, when they were down in Florida, I didn't get the same sense. Right? Now it's a Stanley Cup final, so maybe it's a bit different. But the Oilers had some real injuries that year. They got some injuries this year too. And you know what? We said this before the playoffs. So what is the one great equalizer? And it's the unknown that you can't control, and it's health. And that's why you can never, there's no guarantees in sports. One or two key players get nicked up. It's not the same when teams are close. Now, that doesn't mean teams with injuries haven't won before. So we'll see what the Oilers do tonight. But I would be surprised if Edmonton doesn't come out with a more professional performance tonight when it comes to just their defensive zone play and puck management. I'm not saying it guarantees a win, but that's what I would think it's going to come to for that one. So congratulations, Loops. He's the winner. He's going to the game for the tickets. Thanks to everybody else who bid some last-minute bids to get it up. But Loops is the winner. Congratulations. We'll get to you where you can send the money, and then we'll get your tickets. That's awesome. Coming up, we got the pregame show with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson. They'll have lots more coverage on the Oilers as well as the other games. Looks like we got some early scoring in Buffalo. So we'll get to all that and more. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves an awesome night. Goodbye from On the Rocks, Jasper Ave 118th. Be sure to get down here. They got some seats left, a few of them. If you want to come down and watch the game with 400 of your fellow Oiler fans, it's going to be a great atmosphere here. Lots of great specials for food and beverage. Now, let's get to the Con-Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Do you need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes. Call 1-888-888-5998 or mortgagestogo.ca. Good night.
The Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. Oilers Ducks game 5 as the Oilers try to stay alive, currently trailing 3-1. Puck drop coming up just after 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson. Up next, they'll be joined by former NHLers Landon Ferraro and Tyson Barrie. Out in Buffalo, Sabres leading the Bruins 1-0 after Rasmus Dahlin scoring his first of the playoffs. 13 minutes left. Sabres up 3-1 in that series. And at 6 o'clock, you got the Stars and Wild from Dallas. That series tied at 2 games apiece. In the association, Celtics up on the Sixers 45-37 in the second quarter. Boston leads that series 3-1. Later tonight, Knicks and Hawks from New York. And you got the Spurs trying to wrap up their series against the Blazers. Major League Baseball, Jays lead the Boston Red Sox 2-0 heading into the fourth. Trey Savage getting his first start of the season in this one. Elsewhere, Cards have a 5-0 lead over the Pirates. Reds lead the Rockies 4-1. Astros trail the Orioles 2-1. And the Rays up on the Guardians 1-0 in the 7th. Later on tonight, Yankees in Texas. Padres host the Cubs. Royals get the Athletics. And the Dodgers up against the Marlins. CFL draft underway. The Edmonton Elks selecting Daryl DeBohm out of Rutgers with the 3rd overall pick. Linebacker, the first 2 picks were Giordano Vaccaro out of Purdue to Ottawa, and the Argos selecting offensive lineman Nicholas Henning out of Queens. Keep it locked on Sports 1440 social media platforms. Mackenzie McLennan on location down at Commonwealth. She'll keep you up to date on the Elks selections. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Up next, pregame coverage with Andrew.